down by the hillside when it's raining. You can take a ride with me, ooh yeah, to the top where I can see you, to the top where you can see me, to the top where I can see you, to the top where you can see me. Said I wanna thank you, yeah, because without you, our music, it wouldn't be served. I wanna thank you for the much appreciation the music is heard. I wanna thank you, yeah, because without you, our music, it wouldn't be served. I wanna thank you for the much appreciation the music is heard. Alright, written on a page as the effects of a revolutionary change. And I know, yeah, yeah, it started from a man by the name of Mr. Marley. Oh yeah, alright, Mr. Marley, yeah. Stand up before his right, leading a change with just one mind. Alright, Mr. Marley, yeah. Express the words of one heart, one love and one destiny. Ooh, yeah, yeah. That's why I say every day, yeah, because without you, our music, it wouldn't be served. I wanna thank you for the much appreciation the music is heard. I wanna thank you, yeah, because without you, our music, it wouldn't be served. I wanna thank you for the much appreciation the music is heard. I wanna thank you, yeah, because without you, our music, it wouldn't be served. I wanna thank you for the much appreciation the music is heard. I wanna thank you, yeah, because without you, our music, it wouldn't be served. I wanna thank you for the much appreciation the music is heard. Alright. Ya uli die sombranzelten meg et zu ite saluda antes di niga Radzauzen malak estrezas durante in todo in memu a nogi distancia como kupugi palu zangiman malak guafi ikonum nasugi airi prebatu la noci nai banderata gaigi pues atan fanni bandera kau esta pagua pumalapa giluk tanu man libri sentamiti man ko badi.
Nota kantaima tunonya gitoru iluga Paraiona Parai Gloria Abiga Isla Senpaya Paraiona Abiba Isla Zeus proteis langmon Contract biligu Nafan sofuem Zeus proteis langmon
Sometimes I lay under the moon and I thank God I'm breathing. Then I pray, don't take me soon, 'cause I am here for a reason. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around, because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more wars, and our children will play one day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day. It's not about win or lose, 'cause we all lose when they feed on the souls of the innocent. Blood-drenched pavement, keep on moving though the waters stay raging. In this maze you can lose your way, it might drive you crazy, but don't let it phase you, no way, no way. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around, because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more wars, and our children will play one sun, singing songs of freedom like whoa, 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 whoa. All my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't wanna fight no more. There'll be no more wars, and our children will play one day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day. All my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't wanna fight no more. There'll be no more wars, and our children will play one day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day.
Good morning, Guam. All right. Good morning, guys.
And Joser's still outside.
Yeah, he's mesmerized out there.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you got a sunrise like that, why
Beautiful.
rush it?
Beautiful. That's how beautiful the sunrise is on Guam, even in places you can't really see it. It's breathtaking. Joser with the Skycam, the Hutman Skycam. Good morning. How are you guys? Good. Right on.
People joining us all the way from Hawaii, Texas. Good morning, Joe.
Hey, Joe. Good morning, Joe. I know.
The door closed behind him.
yeah.
So, I mean, the door over here is like 70 pounds of steel.
It is highly reinforced.
Yeah.
And we're prepared for the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
We did okay during COVID, too.
And we could also double as a bank vault. I'm just saying, if
Yeah.
you guys ever need help with that?
We are the other green door. Hey, it's Thursday. This week's going by kind of slow, huh?
No, for me, it's like, I still think it's Tuesday.
Yeah. Oh, well, it's
Time
Thursday.
and space in your world and mine are just like never line up.
Never.
When I think the week is crawling and everything, you're like, man, it's Friday already.
Yeah, so it's Thursday, our warm-up for Friday. It's the link. Good morning, April 29th, 2021, May 1st, right around the corner, Saturday. Will we achieve the path to half? It probably looks like it. Yep.
You know, okay, and now I'm curious about something. First of all, hafade and aloha to all of our familia and our ohana over in Hawaii. We got Jonia checking in. We got Kentucky. We got Texas. Be safe out there, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, so about the path to half thing, right? So does that mean when Friday starts, we have to hit the number or close of business Friday?
Probably it's close of business.
That's
day.
what I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Just give us some extra time to like.
Right,
you know,
yeah, to sort through it and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, guys, good morning.
You know what I was also thinking?
What
That
were you
mean-
also thinking, my friend?
That means we're probably going to have a governor's press conference today or tomorrow.
I was thinking, and then Dr. Hoa, when he was on earlier this week, said that they were probably going to ease some restrictions by the end of the week. I don't know. That's what he heard. Of course, he's the chair of the Physicians Advisory Group, and they routinely advise the governor on what to loosen, what to tighten.
What else could they? I mean, there's a lot they could loosen
Yeah.
restrictions on, obviously, but
Yeah.
but right now, like
Probably
most,
capacity limits, I guess.
well, restaurants are 75%
right.
now.
Yeah. Bars are what, 50?
50 still.
So yeah, I don't know.
Okay, Link fam, if you guys
Maybe they
can,
go up to like 76%.
yeah, can you guys either? I mean, even Google it. Let us know what is the difference between a bar and a tavern. This is perplexed us for 13 months. A bar and a tavern is the
Taverns
difference.
serve
is what,
peanuts.
huh?
Taverns serve peanuts and ale. Mead. They serve mead.
Oh, a flagon of mead.
Taverns are only for people who play Dungeons and Dragons.
Yo, I was a dungeon master. Okay, no shame in there.
The old tavern.
Okay, did you when we were in high school? Did you ever go to JFK's Renaissance
I never went.
Fair?
No.
We had to go as part of like our honors English class. Man, JFK puts on a show. Like, and you know the JFK courtyard, the old JFK campus, and everything like that was so cool. It was like like this big atrium, and then they would have It's like, oh, you can, it wasn't a kissing station. It was like, oh, go over there and, make merry with a wench. And, which you couldn't say these days because you'd be canceled.
Yeah.
And over there it was like, oh, like.
And they have like jousting and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to go to, what's that place in Vegas that, Medieval Times.
Right, yeah.
Dude, I wanted to come to Guam so
You know, it's funny.
bad.
We're going way off, Jay, as
Yeah.
usual, because you'd start and talking about something. But remember Friendly Fred, Uncle Fred? Friendly Fred Nelson?
Yeah.
His whole career after he left Guam was doing like the Renaissance Fair where he dresses up like medieval. Just check his Facebook.
Oh,
Fred
no, yeah,
Nelson,
because Fred Nelson, he was our production manager here at KUM for a long time. Deep roots in
Theater.
in the performing arts. And,
Theater.
I mean, I saw him when I was in high school. We had to go do a report on Pirates of Penzance, and he was the lead character. I forget the name, but he did like the main song. I am the Major Brennan of a General, and he nailed it. And when we watched that at Pacific Star,
Yeah.
I've never seen a play in the Pac Star Ballroom, but it was cool. And Fred is immensely talented.
I always wanted to get into theater and acting, but I can't keep a straight face. Whenever it's like, hey, because I tried, I tried out for some things, and they're like, okay, go ahead, deliver the line, and it's like the saddest thing, and I'm like, smiling.
Okay, so if you ever made it onto the SNL cast, you would always be the guy that would break in the middle of Jimmy Fallon, I think, did that more than anybody, and Bill Hader now, the guy, he can't, and it's become like a thing. It's like you go to YouTube and it's like supercuts of Bill Hader,
Losing it.
Yeah, losing it.
624, guys. The show is brought to you by East West Rental, Cabo Enterprises, Carrier, IT&E, and Jack in the Box, where $3 sauce and loaded fries. That's the thing
And
there.
here comes the word I love so much.
Spicy.
Yes.
Pepper. Jack.
Woohoo! Yes.
Boom. Here's what's coming up on the show this morning. There's a lot to talk about, which we'll get to in a sec. But 6:45, Jay, our friend Valma Ige, former KUM news reporter.
Yeah, so Val and her husband Jeff, and we've known Jeff. He's a senior chief in the Navy right now, and their daughter. We've known Jewel since she was in middle school. She'd always come, oh, Uncle Joe, sir, Uncle Jace, Uncle Chris. She has always been unbelievably overachieving and everything like that, and she is now going to be a midshipman. She has been accepted into the U.S. Naval Academy, which, as someone who grew up, all my uncles served in the military and everything like that, I cannot wait to do this interview because that is a major achievement.
Yep, and that'll be Jason Solis there. Great things for the young people and kind of in tune with graduation season, which is about to start next week. GCC Culinary last Thursday, guys. It's been a great run.
Oh, this is the last one?
I believe so. Or is it? I think the next one's the last. I'll find. Anyway.
No, I thought they were coming back home and we were going to do
we
a
do
Guam
two more,
thing.
right? Yeah. Okay, you're right. So next week.
But our tour of Asia concludes today.
Yes, India. We're going to a hot spot in India. We're going to try what those two doctors at GMH were eating.
No, but the food is going to be hot.
The food is COVID free, of course. Yeah.
Do you love Indian food? Who
Yes,
doesn't?
dude. Who does? Yeah, I love it.
You like garlic naan?
I like garlic naan. I like hoe cakes.
Are you a hummus guy?
Hummus. Yeah, dude.
But is it hummus? Or-
I don't know. Yeah. I am a hummus guy. I'm such a hummus guy after 9/11. They thought I was Arabic. Like every airport, it was like, "Hey, sir, come here. Come with us, buddy. We're going to massage you." Yeah. Yeah, so we're going to India with GCC Culinary. This is a great program. That's what we're doing lunch today, $10. Over at the GCC Multipurpose Center, we get the culinary students in. We got Chef Paul in to talk about the prep and all the great things that are going on at GCC Culinary. Yes, Guam has a culinary program.
Hungan Magahit. GCC Culinary Academy.
Dave Della Sola, Labor Director, coming on. Senator Tello Taitagui, Senator Frank Blas Jr. They have this local war claims bill here. It's kind of funny because they came out with this bill, and then I think within the hour, Vice Speaker Tina and Senator Jim Moylan came out with the same bill. But Senator Tello's was first, so we're going to get her on to talk about it. Also, it's interesting. She is breaking from her Republican colleagues, and in support of this resolution, that was proffered by Senator Sabina Parrish. She's actually a co-sponsor. So I was talking to her last night, and I was like, "Are you with these Republicans who hate clean drinking water?" I'm kidding, guys, kidding. And
You better watch out before Senator Joanne jumps in Zoom and
I know,
everything. You know,
I know. I talked to her last night
and
too.
reinitializes the lecture that we got yesterday.
Yeah. And she was like, "No, I got a way different take." So she's coming on about that and just a bunch of stuff, and then she's coming on Senator Frank Blas Jr. So it's going to be interesting because he is spoke out kind of against the resolution, so they disagree on that, but they do agree on this bill that they're putting out to pay war claims locally and have claims reviewed locally. I think Senator Frank Blas Jr. He kind of got into this little thing with our congressman who apparently was in one of his moods that day, where Senator Frank Blas Jr. was saying, "Hey, with this EIDL loans from the SBA, there's like whole businesses on Guam that just don't qualify because they're using old data from the census." And Congressman San Nicolas got all mad, and he had a press conference, and he was like, "Senator Frank Blas Jr. is ignorant," and this. It was really weird. It was so weird because he was just asking, like, "Hey, what's up? How do we get our businesses these grants?" And Congressman San Nicolas basically like bit his head off, as he's often wont to do. So Senator Frank Blas Jr. wrote the governor. I think he also wrote like someone in the federal government. So we'll catch up on that. Sergeant Paul Tapao, Guam Police Department coming on. Update. There's always crime. There's always stuff going on. And then Senator Moylan will come on about this new bill that he has that widens the definition for official misconduct. And so he added all these different things where like there's stricter penalties and more language about, for example, like building inspectors and taking bribes. So it's definitely an anti-corruption measure. So we're going to get him on about that. And then we've got Harlem Hikes where Tarzan Falls.
Yeah, okay. And if you have not seen this, we already put it on YouTube when our friends sent it to us. And I want to say, shamelessly, they saved the best for last. Because if Tarzan Falls isn't like the most photographed place on Guam,
Yeah.
then it's a close second because it is absolutely breathtaking.
Yep.
And the video is, amazing.
So that's coming up.
And how many times have you been to Tarzan Falls? And it's not just the waterfalls itself.
Yeah.
It's the path
Honest,
going
man,
in.
I don't go there anymore. It's too crowded. It's crazy.
It's not like
ruined.
it was when we were kids.
Yeah, it's just, I don't like the vibe.
What's that other one? Priest's Pool?
It's like you go there, you're running into like 50,000 of these hash people.
Yeah.
These hash freaks or whatever. They're hashing. No offense, guys, but you just make way too much noise in the jungle.
But you know what? When I lived,
Call me old-fashioned. I like to keep it down in the jungle. I'm not all like, "Hey, look at me, beer."
well, that's a southern perspective, at least from Chris. I have kind of more the
Of
northern.
course,
perspective.
you like to hash.
No, I've never hashed myself, but
I think Jason might have flashed a boob at a hash.
But when I lived in Tumon, right? They would have these hasher things, and men and women would get like all dressed up in like red lingerie or like red dresses and everything like that,
Yeah.
and they'd all run through the whole strip
Yeah.
and everything. It was hilarious.
Yeah. So
And normally they do like sometimes they do it for charity.
I know I sound grouchy talking about the hashers, but it is what it is.
Okay, well, what's the other one? Priest Pool.
Yeah, Melissa.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's a good one. It's not much of a hike though, because it's like you boom, get down, and you're there.
Yeah.
But you can keep going after you go to Priest Pools and turn it into a hike.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can turn anything into a hike on Guam. So, and then Jason also interviewed
A friend of ours.
a former beauty pageant contestant, educator, and aspiring social worker who graduated from John F. Kennedy. And tell us a little bit more about this, Jay.
Yeah, so Christiana Williams, you guys might have seen on Instagram. She's been posting. She just started a business which launches tomorrow. Well, Saturday for us, because she's in Seattle. But it's called Hafaday Picnics, and she basically is bringing island flair and the Hafaday spirit and everything.
Is
and
this like a charcuterie thing?
kind of like if you want to take somebody like on a date, or you want to have like a like a family outing and everything like that, she'll create this whole big like luxury picnic experience.
Right.
And then she's coming back here because actually your cousin, Roro Ada from the Guam Hogs. Yeah, Rollin. He's her stepdad, and then her mom, Arlene.
Oh, wow.
Ada.
Wow,
Yeah,
cool.
so she's gonna come, and then she's actually gonna bring Hafaday Picnics here, and
Yeah.
and for a lot of people that have never actually experienced a traditional formal picnic and everything like that,
Like, what's in a traditional formal picnic?
with the basket and
the checkered tablecloth.
the tablecloth, and and you might have some wine and some
American
cheese and
food?
some Well, also they said a lot of Guamanians in the States are all demanding, and they're like, dude, I gotta have my chicken kelaguen in a picnic. I gotta,
Yeah,
Can you
we
please?
need to put more chamorro into charcuterie.
Yeah.
Like, I'm thinking charcuterie, like we do chodcuterie, and then you do the little Teresa's Espinal shots.
You're a marketing genius.
And, trademark Chris Barnett, 2021. Hey,
You need your own intellectual property lawyer, I swear, man. And that person would have a lot of work.
good morning to our Facebook Live viewers this morning. Rosemary Laguana, the first one in. Good morning, team. Dude, what's up with my hair today?
Yeah, the cowlick thing.
You know what it is, dude? I put conditioner. I was feeling adventurous last night. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try.
That's
Because
so metro.
my daughter is always like, Dad, where's the conditioner? So I got it, and I was in the shower last night. I was showering. It's like, let me just put a little conditioner, and I don't know what it did, but
Okay, are you the kind of guy that uses like the hair, the shampoo and body wash?
yeah,
Speaking of
I use body wash on my hair.
No, I'm the combination one.
yeah,
Because I
because
found,
guys, I hate to tell you, it's the same thing.
yeah, but you go through the bottle 3 times as fast because you
Yeah.
wind up using it on your hair and
Because
body.
especially you women are like, oh no, body wash is different from shampoo. It's not. Look at the ingredients. Don't let them get in your head.
As if the Johnson and Johnson company doesn't have enough to worry about right now. Now you're
Right,
talking about
right.
shampoo and
Right.
no more tears.
So Joey Vanessa Boleta Guerrero, good morning, Hoffaday, Annie Bonds, Colleen, Texas. Jen Tidegui, Hoffaday, Team KUAM, Virginia, Guerrero, Buenas, Mike Stokes. Oh, wow, Hoffaday from Kabul, Afghanistan.
Oh, half a day.
Debbie Davis, Hoffaday, good morning. Chris, Jason, Joe, sir, and the beautiful people of Guam from Mama Bear. Chamarita Rages, Hoffaday, good morning. Chris, Sabrina, Jason, Joe, sir, KUAM, Guam, CNMI from the beautiful hillside of Sin City. Roberto Fraccassini, buongiorno, Guam.
Great day for a run.
Good morning, Chris, Malfunction, Barnett, Jason, Joe, sir, all at KUAM. Have a beautiful day from the beautiful village of Inalahan. I want to commend Inaran Mayor Tony Chargaloff. I go down to Inaran a lot. The village is just looking beautiful.
Yes.
He put up these signs like every 100 yards or whatever that say like keep Inalan clean, don't litter. And a little thing like that to really get in your head. And when you see it, it's the messaging. When you see it every so often and it clicks in your brain, you might not even know that message is registering in there because a lot of us have hard heads.
Well, and Mayor TC is a real hands-on mayor,
Oh, this
too.
guy is a
He's not just
hustler,
putting
yeah.
up signs. He's going
Yeah.
and he's picking up trash.
He is literally, I saw him over the weekend picking up trash.
Yeah.
And all the other mayors, guys, I don't get around to all the villages because I know that once you start mentioning one mayor, if you don't mention them all, it's like going to be in big trouble.
Hey, have you spoken to Mayor Jesse Alec? I know you said earlier this
Yeah,
week
he was
under
ill.
the weather.
Yeah. We'll catch up with him Monday. I'll shoot him a text.
Well, I hope he's better.
I know.
Yeah.
Now you know what's happening, guys, is people are getting sick, and guess what? It's not COVID. Yeah. No one got sick over the last year, like regular sick. Now people are getting like sick. They're like, oh, it's a cold, or oh, it's allergies, or oh. But a couple people who did get sick, and it was COVID, which we broke right here on this show yesterday. Guys, miss a link, miss a lot. You're welcome. Hospital Administrator Lillian Posadas confirming that 2 GMH staff doctors returned from travel to India, which is a COVID-19 hotspot. They came to Guam. They got their exemption because they're essential medical personnel. They were working up at the hospital. Heard that they started experiencing the COVID symptoms to include fever. They were tested, turned up positive for COVID-19. They're now in isolation and quarantine. But what was interesting to me was Lillian had said, oh, we're waiting on a confirmatory test, which didn't really make sense because if she got the report on Monday, why would we still be trying to do a confirmatory test like how many days later, So, and it was quite alarming because we didn't know on the show here because I didn't ask her because I was kind of freaked out about what she was saying. Was these 2 doctors were fully vaccinated. And if you go on our news, Jay, the comments are just crazy. But yeah, like we've been saying, you can get COVID. You can get sick with COVID. You can give people COVID even if you're fully vaccinated. I know. So what's the point? I know. What's the point? Well, the point is the governor needs a medal to get to this path to half. We're going to get, Wreck-It Ralph? This path to half, it's like achievement unlocked. So then we're going to get a medal. Yeah, and what it does is it's supposed to, I don't know because I haven't actually tested this theory, but it's supposed to prevent you from becoming severely ill and getting hospitalized with the coronavirus. That's what taking the vaccine is supposed to do, right?
Well, and Lillian did say yesterday that of the 5 people that were hospitalized,
Right.
And she said fortunately they were not, sick enough where they had to be on a respirator or
Right.
in the intensive care unit
Yeah.
and everything. I mean, they're still sick and they do require, constant medical care. But she's like, it's a different situation than before.
Yep. And so, where we had heard this tip was from other staff up at GMH who were concerned about it because, these doctors were showing up to work without being quarantined, and everybody's reading about India in the headlines. And so I was texting another media friend of mine this morning out of Hawaii, sharing this because there was also a story out of Hawaii where a family that was flying into Hawaii, fully vaccinated, their child, that's a terrible story. Child ended up getting sick with COVID and dying.
Oh.
And so Hawaii has recorded their first pediatric COVID-19 death. So I was texting this a media friend of mine and saying that, to me what was kind of scary about this whole thing that we unearthed yesterday on the link was that if we didn't ask about it, they would have never said anything. Right? Isn't that crazy? Whoo, boy. Glad I'm here. Because we would have never found out, so there you go. And thank you, Lillian. And Lillian was straight up like, well, you got me. I'm not going to lie, Chris. I'm right here live on the Zoom. So there it is. Facebook Live again. We'll just continue checking in with everybody here, guys. Talaper Vesgal, good morning, Guam. The Marianas and KUAM staff have a blessed Thursday. Nestor Quintaniza, whose daughter Jada,
Yep.
has been on the show. She's an aspiring young Chamarita musician. And he was just commenting that they're playing her on the radio out there. That's great.
And she's going to drop a new single, Nestor writes, in either late May. And, Jada puts out the video with the single.
Right, yeah.
I guess remember how music used to be released when we were kids? It was like, all right, the album would come out.
Yeah.
And everybody would buy the album. And then radio plays like one song at a time in a specific order for what
And
they
then
think
you'd have
hits
the
are.
album and you'd be like, God, when are they going to play, number 3 on side B?
Yeah. Well, like when Def Leppard's Hysteria came out.
Yeah.
I remember listening to that because I bought that on tape and I was telling everybody, I was like, dude, track 4, Love Bites, is going to be like a huge hit. And it wasn't like a year until radio started
Right.
playing that.
Yeah.
But now what you can do is you actually put out like one track and then you have the entire album. And
It's the total opposite. Now they put out the singles and then maybe you get an album later.
Yeah. Oh, my song's been on Spotify for like 3 months, but
Right.
the album comes out. But Jade is actually doing the videos too. And her videos are eye-popping. Like we have sung so much praise for, the production value on her stuff.
Elizabeth Agagi, Hafide KUAM Guam from Hawaii. George Freeze, Mr. Freeze, you be safe talking. Emma Olalia, good morning. Clifford Meredith Duenas, Hanin Maulig, and Hafide from Zotnya. Teresa Tintin, good morning. Guam watching from Egypt. Jay, Egypt.
Egypt is the place to be.
JM and Etuk, happy Thursday, everyone. Okay, I'm getting the sign from Jake. Bing Kitsutu. Yeah, Buenos spent 2 hours at GMF to pick up mail from our closed Dedito box. If the postal guy tells you your key doesn't match their listing of serial numbers, tell them to check again. Seems like they are working out of another old list. 2 hours of standing in line. I was determined to get my mail. Luckily, they found the right list. So sorry about that. We talked about that yesterday as the Dedito and Jigo post offices remain closed. They're not saying anything about it. We don't know why it's being closed. We don't know if there was mail being stolen or if there was like crystal meth being shipped in or if they were charging more for services. Because part of what that release they put out was they said that these United States Postal supply centers, which are subcontracted, are supposed to offer postal services at USPS prices. So I don't know. Sorry, guys. Rosemary Laguardia. Jay, taverns sell food and alcohol, whereas
Okay.
a bar sells alcohol. Romeo Bella Marquez. Good morning, Chris and Jason. Yeah, thank you, Facebook Live. We'll get back to you guys, but Jay's giving me the look now because we're starting to back up. Yeah, 6:42. We're gonna go ahead and do the news.
Well, actually,
Okay.
if we can do this interview first
Sure,
with
yeah.
a former. Well, you're always going to be a KUM kid, you know.
There you go.
Even if your parents move on to like other things, but we'll do news. But now joining us in the KUM newsroom room because she is on her way to school, and as long as I have known Jewel Maige, she has always had a million things to do, and that's a very, very good characteristic to have. Jewel, good morning.
Good morning. Hi, everyone. Hi, Uncle Jason. Hi, Uncle Chris.
Now,
I promise I'm not on the road. I'm currently sitting in my student parking lot, but it's safe, so no worries.
very cool. Well, I know you got school coming up, and you know that's kind of apropos because you know you have always been, as long as I've known you, Jewel, someone who's always done so many things. You're a member of the National Honor Society. You were in the Naval Junior ROTC program for Guam High. You know you were rugby captain, and now you can call yourself a midshipman as you have been appointed to the United States Naval Academy. Congratulations to you and your family.
Gosh, it's a really not overwhelming feeling, but I'm very excited and nervous in a lot of ways. I think that's natural though, but I'm more excited than I am nervous. So yeah.
And of course, you leave in about what? You leave in about a month because every member, every midshipman has to go through like basically their freshman in indoctrination is the plebe summer, right?
Yes. So about maybe mid-June, I'll have to leave. I'm gonna report to Maryland the first week of June, and for 6 weeks, no contact with the outside world. Basically, no cell phone, no laptop. I'll be physically training for my first year at the Naval Academy.
And how much do you? I mean, because you've been in ROTC for so long, you know, one of the things that you and I actually have in common is we were both in color guard for 4 years, and you know, color guard. It was such an immense honor for me to be able to, you know, whether we were doing a village fiesta, we were doing like a sports event up at Sanchez when I went there and everything, to bear the colors of our island and our nation, to like start an event and everything like that is something I'm always going to be able to take away with me. And you know, you grew up. Your dad is a senior chief in the Navy. So what did it mean for you to be like in color guard? And then, you know, did you always want to go to Annapolis?
So to answer your first question, always being in color guard, I started doing my very first color guards in my freshman year, and every now and then I would switch up my positions. I would normally be either Guam flag or left rifle, right rifle. But up until my junior year, that's when I really started commanding my first color guards. My sophomore year and my junior year, I started commanding them. And so, you know, again, bearing the colors of our island and of our country, it's a big honor to do that, even for sports events or retirement ceremonies, things like that. And I think it also helped me mold my leadership, just interacting with the different cadets in my company. And in terms of planning on going to Annapolis, actually my sophomore year, we had a presentation done by Ensign Denton, who is a 2019 graduate of the United States Naval Academy. And he basically came to our school. He did a big presentation on the Naval Academy. And that's when my interest started to peak. I used to joke around with my mom and say that, you know, I don't know if I'm going to join the military. I don't know if I'm going to follow dad's steps. But it was really learning to become a leader in the ROTC program and learning what I wanted, that ultimately it was the Naval Academy that was the perfect fit for me. So that's when I started to really take things seriously. Up until my junior year, I applied for a summer seminar and things like that. And it all worked out pretty well, I would say.
And of course, your mom, Valerie Maige, a former colleague of ours here, one of the finest reporters I have ever had the honor of being able to work with. And, you know, she's been in journalism for a really, really long time. So we are so happy for her. Your mom actually called me yesterday, and I was just saying, Val, I'm so happy for you and Jeff and everything like that. I'm not at all surprised, but still wildly impressed that Jewel's gotten into Annapolis, because, I mean, it's such an amazing honor. Do you have any idea of, you know, what you would like to do? Because, of course, you know, when you go to Annapolis, you can kind of choose. I believe it's after your junior year, right? You decide whether you want to be a fleet officer in the Navy, or you want to go on to the Marine Corps. Do you have like a preference at this point?
I would say that out of all the communities I could choose, I would choose to go into the surface warfare community, only because I think it's like you're kind of a jack of all trades at that point. You're able to interact with the different sailors on your boat. You're basically, I mean, even as a junior officer, you are in a leadership position in some way, and so interacting with a lot of people, I think that's one thing that I'm excited to do, even to drive the boat. And so, yeah, I would go into that community.
Well, I do have one question for you, Jewel, right? Because I thought about this yesterday. When you graduate from the Naval Academy, right? Technically, you are going to outrank your dad. How is that going to be when you come home and I'm sure your parents are going to be beaming with pride and everything like that. But will your dad have to salute you?
Technically, yes. Even during ceremonies when you're going into your commissioning, usually you'll have a first salute, and so I'm actually anticipating that my dad's going to be my first salute. I'm 100% sure that he will be, and so
And
at
that's
home it's
amazing.
still dad-daughter dynamic. I've always been close to my dad growing up, and so becoming an officer in the Navy, where I'll kind of outrank him a little bit, there'll be a little bit of playful tension there, but of course, it's always going to be my dad. I'll always treat him the same way. Nothing different there in our relationship.
Well, he's also a senior chief too, so he's about as high up there as you can get. And I mean, he has earned all of the accolades that he has. I mean, I have immense respect for your father. He's always been a good guy.
Thank
Okay, Jewel, take me back real quick though, because was it only Annapolis that you applied to, or what other colleges were you considering when you decided after high school, this is where I want to study?
So originally, going into the college application process, I knew I wanted to go into some kind of commissioning program, whether it be the Naval Academy or the NROTC programs that certain colleges have to offer, or even OCS if that was the plan. But I applied to 10 universities,
Wow.
including the United States Naval Academy, and each and every single one of them had a ROTC program, a Navy ROTC program, to include UC Berkeley, UCLA, UC San Diego, UC Davis, as well as University of San Diego. There's a lot on the list, but I had
So you got a
few
lot of
on the
West Coast schools, and then you got into and accepted the school over in Maryland.
Oh yeah, it's exactly
Yep.
kind of ironic because I was planning to go to the West Coast for my undergrad, but surprisingly, I'm gonna end up on the East Coast where it's a lot more different. But I'm excited. I'm really excited to see how I adapt on the East Coast. I mean, I've visited before, but I've never actually gotten the chance to really settle myself there. So going into this new chapter of my life, especially going to college, it'll be exciting. I'm really anticipating what will happen.
And did you have to write to Congressman Nicholas and ask for, because typically like our congressional delegates can give appointments to incredibly outstanding, seniors and everything like that. Did he give you an endorsement that helped get into Annapolis?
Yes. So actually, the way it works is,
Good job.
members of Congress can give nominations to United States Naval Academy or any other service academy applicants. And since we have one delegate, which is Congressman Sid Nicholas, that's how I got my nomination to the United States Naval Academy.
Now I know you know this because you are a Navy kid. Go Navy. And by the way, you're gonna have to cheer that at least 4 major times a year. I'm so jealous of you, Jewel. You're gonna be able to attend the Army Navy game. Have you already started practicing? Go Navy, beat Army.
Actually, yes. So in all of my, I have a friend that's actually going to be attending West Point, and so we joke around, and I'm
Oh,
like,
boy.
Go Navy, beat Army, okay? This is how it's gonna be run for the next few years, just until we commission. But ultimately, going into that Army Navy game, it's a pretty big deal, I would say. So
Oh yeah,
I think
that's
I think I'm
required
really
too.
excited for that. Just practicing saying "Go Navy, beat Army."
Yeah.
That's just prepping me for that one big day in December.
I know you know this because I know you're very familiar with Captain Enriquez. He served as a mentor to you. I believe was he your blue and white commander or your officer?
the blue and gold officer.
Blue
and
and
so
gold
they're
officer.
actually,
I'm sorry. Yeah.
yes, so they're volunteer positions to kind of help out applicants in their area. They're all assigned to a different area, and so Captain Enriquez is Guam, obviously, and he was super helpful throughout the process. Even during our interview, it was very comfortable. There was no like weird tension or anything, and he was super supportive throughout the entire process, and I'm very grateful for that.
He's a fantastic guy. He's a great ambassador for the academy. But I don't know if you know this, but Guam actually has a great many number of our residents who have gone to Annapolis. The mayor of Ordet Salampago, Jesse Gogui, is an Annapolis graduate. Dr. Peter Lombard, who comes on this show frequently, he's an eye doctor and knows. And the thing about Annapolis grads is they always get together and they watch the game. I'm sure they're going to welcome you, with open arms into their very, very small, very distinct community and everything like that. So you're in a really good place right now. And and Annapolis grads, we know, naval officers take care of each other.
Thank you.
Yeah, do you know of any other members of the Naval Academy that are local that have like reached out to you and extended their congratulations or said this is what you have to look forward to, or this is what the experience is going to be like?
In particular, there's one officer that helped me throughout the process. She even proctored my CFA exam, which is the physical exam for the United States Naval Academy application, and that's Angela Carandang. She was super helpful. She graduated, I believe, in 2016, class of 2016, United States Naval Academy, and she was wonderful throughout the process. She is one of the sweetest people I know, and with all the nerves that come with such a tedious application process, she helped me kind of, ease the tension that was there. And it became a lot easier knowing that, someone that had gone through the process themselves had a lot of confidence in me. And I'm very grateful for that.
Okay, well, we're wrapping up here, Jay, Jewel, because I know you got to get to school, and I am not going to keep you from your studies because you've always been very diligent. But I'd like to give you the opportunity to kind of just thank the people that help you get to this point, because getting into a service academy is such an amazing achievement for yourself and your family and your support system and everything. So who would you like to thank?
So first off, I would like to thank, of course, my family. That includes my mom, Valerie Maige. Hi, you're probably on the stream.
She's watching right now, I can guarantee. I asked her to join, but she was too nervous.
And as well as my grandparents, Romy and Bella Marquez of Dedido. Hi, they're probably on the stream too. I heard Uncle Chris introduce them onto the stream. And on top of that, my ROTC instructors, they've been dealing with my, not shenanigans, but they've been dealing with me for a few years now. So I'm very grateful that all of them have been supportive throughout the entire process, as well as my counselor, Miss Taitano. She's one of the sweetest ladies that I know. So I'm really grateful that for the past 4 years, I've been able to bug her in her office about college, and we see where it ended up, as well as, again, Angela Carandang. I'm very grateful that she helped me through the application process. Congressman St. Nicholas for his nomination, and I thank his staff for being so helpful throughout the process. And there are a lot of people to thank, and I'm so grateful that, with everyone that's helped me, even my friends and family who, just supported me emotionally throughout this entire process. Of course, it's been tough and it's been challenging at times, but ultimately I think that there are so many people that I'm grateful for the support and for the love that they've showed me throughout this entire thing, that, my heart goes out to a lot of these people. And so, yeah, I'm very grateful for everyone who supported me.
Well, Jewel, you never shied away from hard work and everything, and certainly your work ethic and your dedication to your family and to doing the job right is what got you here. But, the work now begins. So we wish you the very best of luck. Have an amazing time as a midshipman. We're immensely proud of you. And there's a bunch of comments in our comment stream. You can go through them later when you get a break from school. But Jewel, we're so very proud of you. Congratulations once again.
Thank you so much, and thank you for inviting me to do this interview. I'm very grateful that I get to kind of share my part, and yeah, thank you so much.
All right, hey, I'm just happy I can say I know another Annapolis student. I've known a few. It's that the service academies are the toughest colleges to get into in the nation. So to do that is an amazing achievement. So have a wonderful day and have a great time at Annapolis.
Stay safe, everyone.
All right, bye-bye. Have a great day. That's great achievement right there, Chris.
Well, it's, what a great way to start the show, Jay. It's 6:58. We're KUAM-FM, Agotnia, Guam. Now a look at news for Sabrina Salas Bentanani, who's off island. Good morning, Jason Salas.
All right, good morning, and here we go. What is making news today is that an employee at Augusta Johnson Middle School has tested positive for coronavirus. Close contact people have been identified and notified. Areas of the school campus have been cleaned and disinfected, and the staffer is currently in isolation. Regular hours at the home of the Pirates in the Ordet Talampago School will resume on Thursday, April 29th, of course, that being today. Guam's CAR score has dipped to 0.8 after being 0.9 yesterday, after 12 new COVID-19 cases were confirmed out of 557 tests performed 2 days prior. The island's positive case count is approaching 8,000 in almost 14 months, with 136 deaths. 76 cases are currently active on our island, and 5 people are hospitalized. Well, residents wanting to receive the coronavirus vaccine can register to get their shot today or Saturday down south at Public Health's Southern Community Health Center in Inalahan. You can register right now at tinyurl.com/path2half. PATH 2 HALF. You can also go to KUM.com/vaccination and register, and please do. Vaccines will be distributed down in Inalahan from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. again today, or Friday or Saturday. Well, the march to the Path for Half continues, with tomorrow being the arbitrarily selected deadline to immunize 50% of the island's adult population, as 69,521 of us have received the first dose, and 53,352 of your fellow Guamanians have now been fully vaccinated. With a look at what's happening on the rest of the island, let's go back to the newsroom. Tyler Matinani is standing by with this morning's Link Update.
Buenos dias, half a day, everyone. I'm Tyler Matinani with your headlines here on The Link. Some alarming news out of the Guam Memorial Hospital as 2 fully vaccinated GMH doctors returned back on island from a hotspot destination last week and have since tested positive for COVID-19.
Guam Memorial Hospital Administrator Lillian Posadas received the report on Monday that a couple of GMH doctors returned from India and over the weekend were experiencing COVID symptoms. Posadas tells KUAM the doctors arrived on island on April 17th, right before India's surge as the Middle Eastern country's COVID crisis continues to deepen. The doctors, however, were given quarantine exemptions, as Posadas says they had negative PCR tests upon arrival that were accepted. She confirms that the doctors were cleared and responding to a handful of patients, including a COVID patient seen by one of the doctors. Public health officials have said that someone exposed to the virus can test negative if tested too soon after exposure. Both doctors, after experiencing COVID symptoms, underwent an Abbott ID test and were positive for COVID-19. They are currently in isolation.
We want to also make sure that the PCR, because that's basically the confirmatory test, if PCR tests come back negative, then that gives us that assurance that they're free of the infection.
While GMH awaits confirmatory PCR test results, Posada says the hospital is re-examining their protocols, as this does draw major concerns for our lone public hospital designated for COVID response.
Sure, absolutely, there's concern, but everybody again continues to wear the protective gear, and so with contact tracing, our infection control and employee health are following through with the contact tracing.
KUAM reached out to Public Health PIO Janela Carrera for an update on their contact tracing efforts and any potential exposures. As of news time, we have not received a response. And we should note the COVID-19 hospitalization census has increased to 5 patients. There are no COVID patients in the intensive care unit or on ventilator support.
A 10% increase in water rates was approved by the Consolidated Commission on Utilities in a meeting Tuesday night. The hike is part of an ongoing 5-year plan to gradually raise rates to pay for major capital improvements to the water and sewer system. The improvements are mandated under a long-standing federal consent decree to bring GWA's system in compliance with the Clean Water Act. CCU member Simon Sanchez explains.
For the last 20 years of rebuilding the entire system with 5-year rate adjustments, keep it as affordable as we can and spread it out. And this next set of rate hikes that we're looking at would produce the seeds for $340 million of improvements.
GWA plans to raise rates by another 10% next year and by 7% the following year. The increase must still be approved by the Public Utilities Commission. State memorial services were held Wednesday for 10-term Senator and former Speaker Joe Taitano San Agustin. He was honored for his many years of public service, his financial expertise, and his strong advocacy for the Government of Guam Retirement Fund. Delivering the eulogy was his nephew and longtime staffer Tyrone Taitano. He shared a time during the 21st Guam legislature when Senator-elect Marilyn Wonpat passed away prior to inauguration. The Democrats and Republicans were deadlocked at 10 members each, but they eventually chose San Agustin to lead them.
Gloss over the elements of politics or personalities involved in moments like this. However, not every legislator could have pulled off a result like that. It was a testament to who Joe T. was as a person, his qualities as a leader, and the respect and trust people have for him throughout his public service career. That if the Republicans secured a majority, he would resign as Speaker and give the new majority the opportunity to put forth its own candidate for the post. That was the kind of leader Joe T. San Agustin was.
The former Speaker was predeceased by his wife Carmen, and they are survived by 5 children. Joe passed away on April 15th at the age of 90. That's the news for now. We'll see y'all at 6 tonight on Primetime.
All right, thanks so much, Ty. Real quick, as in the world of local sports, congrats to the Friars as the volleyball squad captured their 4th straight boys volleyball championship. Head coach Steve Pangilinan led his team to a straight-set win over a tough Harvest Eagles team to complete the four-peat. Well, since 6 a.m., residents lined up at the Manila and Barrigada food commodity distribution sites. Our Isaiah Uggan takes you now to Central Guam for this next story.
We went to the food commodities distributions held in the central villages, which both had over 100 cars lining up 3 hours before it began. At the old carnival grounds in Tizan, the Barrigada Mayor's office gave out 750 packages of frozen and dry goods from the TFAB food program and the USDA. Mayor June Blah says that it proceeded well and she has seen an increase of her village's residents taking advantage of the free food opportunity.
Yes, so the last time we had was 500, and even that was not enough. So we had to ask for an additional 250, at least to do a cushion to help our residents. So, you know, we do try to give us what we can, you know, to our residents that are still in need.
Meanwhile, over in Manila, residents made their way to the night market area where food was being distributed. Mayor Alan Nangata says the flow was smooth because of the assistance provided by AmeriCorps members and his office staff. He explained that the demand for the food is high.
The program, you can see it's a great need, and with the line that's been since this morning, we appreciate them taking advantage, and like I said, it shows that there's still a need for the food for our constituents and our community.
He added that when the program first started last year, they only distributed 400 items worth of commodities. Now that has grown to 600. Angata plans to request for 200 more food commodities after he sees the results of next week's distribution. The Manila Mayor's Office will hold another free food distribution at the same location next week, Wednesday, May 5th, beginning at 8:30 a.m. Reporting for Guam's News Network, Guahusi, Isaiah Uggan.
Well, we continue our week-long series on sustainability here, as when the pandemic hit and we were forced into lockdown as a community, many on island turned to gardening as therapy to cope with the isolation we all experienced. Still others embraced it as a return to sustainable living. Back to Nature Gardening and Hydroponics opened their doors last November, and Joe Dungan-Charfer shows you now how they pivoted a hobby into a business.
Sustainability Matters, in partnership with the University of Guam Center for Island Sustainability and Guam Green Growth, presented by Green Energy Solutions, Inc.
When the pandemic hit and we were forced into lockdown, many turned to gardening as a natural therapy for coping with the isolation we were experiencing, and others embraced it as a return to sustainable living. Back to Nature Gardening and Hydroponics opened its doors in November last year. Co-owner India Sakaguchi.
Like everybody else, when the pandemic hit, we had to kind of reevaluate our lives in general. We did have a business that was quite tourist dependent, so we had to scale that way back. We basically turned our hobby of gardening into a business by bringing in a lot of the products that we saw were doing really well in other stores around Guam. We haven't stopped yet. We're still taking customer requests all the time, trying to bring in, whatever people are looking for, but we're just really happy to be Guam's first dedicated garden center. You won't find any other hardware store items here. It's pure green.
No matter what you're growing, and whether it's indoors or outdoors, Sakaguchi says they offer soil, fertilizer, nutrients, pest control, pots, and measuring meters to ensure you get a successful crop. She adds that if there was a positive from this pandemic, it's been people turning to their gardens and realizing the importance of sustainability.
Before the pandemic hit, we were all embroiled in our 9-to-5s. We didn't have that much time to focus on our houses, on our gardens. And as soon as we were in quarantine, we suddenly realized, oh, hey, this space that's just been, sitting around vacant with nothing in it would look really great with like a planter and some, vegetables. And why don't I turn this other space into like a, aesthetic orchid wall? Or so many people did turn to gardening. Even though they go back to the normal way of life, I don't think they're going to forget what they've learned these past 12 months. And I think it's a good way forward. A lot of the customers who come to us are younger, and they'll say, my grandma taught me how to, plant this, and my granddad taught me how to raise chickens, and it's good for Guam.
Back to Nature's NFT hydroponic systems have drawn a great deal of interest from those who live in smaller houses and apartments with no space for traditional soil-based farming.
With the hydroponic systems, which are great for leafy greens, they can be growing all of the lettuce, kale, bok choy, spinach, all of those leafy greens that go through a relatively quick vegetative stage. They don't have very developed root systems, and that's why they grow very well in the hydroponic systems. And then you can just harvest your salads off your balcony. How awesome is that?
And she has this message for the people of Guam.
Some people think that, Guam's soil isn't good, so you can't grow anything, and that's just not true. You can grow so many different things. The soil is completely different from north to south anyway. Use what you have, grow what can be grown, and if you need to you use a different type of soil, the soils are readily available. Our climate here allows us to grow so many fruits and vegetables year-round. We're so lucky and blessed that we have the environment and the climate that we do.
You can stop by Back to Nature Gardening and Hydroponics located in Tamuning behind AK. For more information, you can also follow and like their page on Instagram and Facebook. Just look for Back to Nature Guam.
Sustainability Matters, in partnership with the University of Guam Center for Island Sustainability and Guam Green Growth. Presented by Green Energy Solutions, Inc.
All right, good story, Joan. In international headlines this morning, results are in from a coronavirus experiment in Barcelona. Crowds packed an indoor concert venue to see if COVID cases would spike. Here's Ian Lee with CBS from London.
5,000 indie rock fans let loose at a concert in Barcelona, wearing masks but ditching social distancing as part of a COVID trial last month.
We can be sure that this has not been a super spreading event.
Researchers in Spain found no signs of an outbreak, with only 6 people testing positive for COVID-19 after the event, a lower transmission rate than the rest of the city at the time. Concert goers had to take rapid COVID tests on their way in, getting results through an app on their phones. The test and a mask were included in the ticket price. The British government has launched similar COVID experiments at indoor and outdoor sporting venues across the UK, hoping to reveal whether big events drive up infections. Thousands of English football fans, that's soccer to the rest of us, returned to London's Wembley Stadium.
Just need you a night test result.
But no one got in without showing a negative COVID test. Spectators call it a small price for some freedom.
It's really exciting, and just seeing people stood around again, it's quite a relaxed atmosphere.
But British authorities say they aren't letting their guard down as they track the transmission of the virus. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
All right, everybody, please stay tuned because when we come back, we're checking in with our friends from the GCC Culinary Academy, and they show you the flavors, textures, and colors of the second most populous country in the world.
It's Dirty, delivering meals from your favorite restaurants and more, including delivering sodas and adult beverages from the Bottle Shack. Visit uno-go.com or download the app today. Also follow them on Instagram and Facebook. KUAM's multi-platform morning show, The Link, just got a little more delicious with Feed Me Fridays. Chris, Sabrina, Jason, and the rest of the morning crew will take some time each Friday to talk food, taste food, and bring you all the latest and greatest in food from King's Restaurants and Ruby Tuesday Guam, old faves, new hits, and everything on the menu in between. It's Feed Me Fridays on The Link.
GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information.
Only one company on Guam provides every solar energy solution under one roof, Micronesia Renewable Energy. You want solar only? They got that. You want solar with batteries? They got that too. You want outright purchase or lease purchase? It's up to you. Does your solar system need a tune-up? That's what they do. For solar energy solutions from A to Z, you can count on MRE. Give them a call at 632-2613 for a free consultation. MRE, providing real solar solutions built by real solar experts.
Get the job done the right way by getting the right stuff at East West Rental Center. With years of experience helping builders, we definitely got what you need. Call 646-1463 or visit us in Upper Tumon. Open Monday to Saturday from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. and on Sundays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. The world of television is more exciting than ever. Don't miss a minute of special presentations from NBC on KUAM TV8 or from CBS on KUAM TV11. Every month, we'll bring you the fun and excitement of award shows and red carpet moments, special series presentations, and other great network programs. Brought to you locally by King's Restaurant, Ruby Tuesday Guam, Bud Light Seltzer, and Docomo Pacific, giving you more reasons to tune in and turn on. Fall in love with TV again with the best from KUAM Communications.
Looking for TV schedules, upcoming sports, or special presentations, or what you may have missed over the busy week you had? Well, look no further than KUAM Digital Digest. This weekly emailed newsletter puts all kinds of information in the hands of subscribers each and every week. Just subscribe and we will make sure you keep up with your favorites and stay informed and entertained throughout it all. Go to KUAM.com, click on the newsletter tab, give us your email address, and you are all set. Brought to you in digital partnership with King's Restaurant and Ruby Tuesday Guam. It's the KUAM Digital Digest, your weekly guide to the latest information and best entertainment on the stations and platforms of KUAM.
Catch SportsLink on the KUAM News Morning Show, The Link, every Friday to hear about the latest in sports news, game schedules, athlete profiles, and more. SportsLink, brought to you each week by Cure Alkaline Water, airs every Friday across the multimedia platforms of KUAM. Tune into the broadcast on Breeze 93.9 FM on KUAM TV 11, live streaming through the KUAM News Facebook page, or view highlights on YouTube, KUAM News Facebook, and Instagram. SportsLink is hosted by Dave Delgado through KUAM Sports, and he will make sure that everyone knows what is happening on the field, in the gyms, and everywhere in between.
We got your 6
at 6 a.m. with The Link on Breeze 93.9 FM. Bree and I connect you with all the latest news and information you need to know to start your day.
Then check back with Guam's news leader at 6 p.m. for the day's top headlines with KUAM News Primetime.
From 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and everything else in between with KUAM Digital, we got your 6.
It's Dirty Politics Weekly on The Link, live on location. Every week, Chris and Sabrina will interview different political leaders out in the field to address environmental problems in our community. See firsthand how illegal dumps, littering, and other issues are plaguing our beautiful island and what's being done to help. Part of our Sustainability Matters campaign for Earth Month, in partnership with the University of Guam Center for Island Sustainability and Guam Green Growth. Presented by Green Energy Solutions, Inc. Reduce before you produce. GESI.
When we throw things away, where is away? What happens to our waste, and where does it go? As a community of small islands, the waste crisis is a large issue we want to bring into focus. Micronesia Climate Change Alliance presents From Our Nanas for Our Nennies, a video series about taking a holistic view of our present, finding wisdom from our past, and inspiring a better future. Airing every week during Earth Month, brought to you by Humanities Guahan and the National Endowment for the Humanities.
Welcome back to the show right here on a Thursday. Now, you know what that means. We are bringing in the immense talents of our friends at the GCC Culinary Academy, where young aspiring chefs, and you know, who on Guam is not a chef? We've all worked with food. We love food, but these young minds are taking it to the next level. Chef Paul is here, and he has the pleasure of being their instructor. And Chef Paul, I just want to say I've been looking forward to today's lunch and dinner for a while, because we are doing India today, and Indian cuisine is such a favorite to so many Guamanians. So Chef Paul, first of all, welcome back to the show. We always love having you guys on.
Oh, thank you, Jason. It's great to be back. It's an honor that you have us on.
Okay, so okay, now of course here in the Zoom room, handling the lunch menu are Chef Isabel and Chef Ty, as well as Chef Jamie Ann here as well.
Yes.
No, there she is. Okay, so I want to talk to you guys, and we've also got Chef Janelle and Chef Christian here, who are handling the dinner menu. And who among us does not love Indian food for dinner? I could eat Indian food like all day. So, okay, real quick, chefs, raise your hand if you have prepared Indian food already. If you consider yourself experienced in doing Indian food. Okay, no, nothing wrong with that. So it's a new challenge. You know, here on Guam, you know, we like challenges. We rise to the occasion. So let's go to Chef Isabel, Chef Ty, and Chef Jamie in right now. What do you guys have planned for us for the lunch menu today?
Okay, so the first thing we have is chicken tikka masala. Basically, it's small chunks of chicken pieces immersed in a creamy sauce flavored with spices. Tikka is the term used for small pieces of meat or vegetables, and masala is the mixture of spices used to make the Indian dish.
Okay, very cool. Okay, Chef Isabel, how is it working with the menu items for you? Because you know, like Indian cuisine, I mean, there's so much, you know, like it really involves like a lot of breads. That's a big part of it. There's a lot of color too, and the texture is very, very important. How is it for you?
For me personally, I thought it was just going to be a challenge trying to make the dishes authentic and also a way for it to feed a lot of people, because we are planning to package for about 150. So I think overall, just trying to make it authentically correct was kind of challenging.
Very cool. Now here on Guam, you know we love our pica food. You know, everybody loves spicy, and what Indian food is really known for is bringing the heat. So, did you have fun working with that?
Yeah, honestly, for me, spice is always something for me. It has to be a little bit spicy. If it's not spicy, then I don't know. That's just me. I enjoy a lot of spices.
Oh, very cool. Okay, so Chef Ty, there he is, Chef Ty in the corner. What was it like for you working on these Good morning, bro. Working on, today's lunch menu because, when it comes down to it, as chefs, you're looking to nourish the people that will take these amazing box lunches from you guys and everything like that. So, putting the menu together and then figuring out something that would really give people the fuel to go throughout the rest of their day with Indian cuisine.
Okay, so working on this menu, I would say would be really fun, especially since we since we're using normally wouldn't use like some of the spices that we use to cook some of the dishes, and even with the yogurt, because we had to cook some of the dishes required some yogurt, and especially when it had the great aroma in the air, everything was great. I just hope everybody can enjoy the food that we made today for them because we really worked hard on it. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't like to make a lot of guarantees, especially like in the last year because the world is so crazy now. But I can pretty much guarantee everyone is gonna love your culinary creations. Like Indian food is amazing, and that is an interesting thing because you've got the spicy curries and you've got the stuff that is really known for heat in terms of what it does for your palate, not necessarily the temperature, and then you've got the yogurt with it too. So I mean, it's this amazing juxtaposition of flavors and colors. Did you guys find that?
Yes.
All right, right on. Okay, so for the dinner, okay, for the dinner menu, let's go to Chef Janelle and Chef Christian, you guys are partners on the dinner menu, right? So how did you guys split up the work between the two of you, and how did you figure out who makes what? Because this is a team environment. Oops, and you guys are there. You go.
I'm so sorry, sir. We did not really hear you. Is it okay if you can repeat yourself?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I was gonna say. So, since you guys are partners on the dinner menu, how did you determine how you guys split up your menu and
sorry,
and who does
the
what?
Question again?
Oh, you want me to ask one more time? Okay, so what do you guys make? What are you guys making for us for your dinner menu?
For our menu, we have a chicken coconut milk curry with rice, with garlic naan bread with hummus on the side, and grilled buttered corn. And then for dessert, we have mango cream puffs.
Wow. Okay, so it's interesting how we here on Guam, we love coconut, we love mango. This is a different way to prepare, and you deal with like hummus and chickpeas and everything like that. The texture is unique and everything like that. Was it interesting for you guys to work with, foods that we know in our, chamorro and Filipino cuisine, and now use it in a different way when you're working with like coconut and mango?
Yes. So for our curry, we had a lot of fun like experimenting with like the spices and stuff, but we also wanted to kind of take it and add like a local touch to it. So we decided to add coconut milk curry for flavor, body to the curry, and to make it feel more comfortable, more familiar, while still be able to experience the flavors of Indian cuisine.
Okay, right on. So because Chef Paul is teaching you guys not just to consider food is very delicate, and you have to you're artists, you have to work with this as a painter would, but it's also a teamwork environment, right? You have to decide you're feeding a lot of people today, and there's going to be a line, I'm sure, around the block at GCC because people love Indian food on Guam. How did you guys decide who does what and make sure that you guys can work very efficiently?
We both just do what we can, and if someone needs help, then we help that person or assign someone who is more suited for that job.
Basically, we work as a team.
Yes.
Right on. Okay, so I'm going to ask all the chefs to just unmute your mics right now, and you guys can just jump in as you see fit. But since you said like a lot of you don't have like deep experience working with Indian cuisine, what did you guys take away from this, and what do you know now, and what have you discovered that you love about cooking Indian food?
What we took from this is to try new foods because you can expand your horizons and like learn new flavors that you didn't know existed, and you might end up having new favorites too. So like this curry, this is actually one of my new favorites now.
It's pretty good.
How much naan are you guys making? Because I've seen people make like really big batches of naan, but you guys are basically feeding an entire island right now. That's a lot of naan.
Yes.
How long does it take to make a batch of naan? Because it's you got to make sure you do it right, and you got to keep an eye on it.
Actually, for our naan bread, it's that packaged already, so it's pre-made for us. But all we have got to do is just bake it.
Okay, right on. But it is very delicate. I mean, it's very light, and it can be kind of like hollow in the middle. So you got to make sure you don't overdo it.
That's right.
Okay, so Chef Isabel, Chef Ty, Chef Jamie, and what did you guys take away from being able to work with Indian cuisine and being able to bring that very a culture that has a lot of history behind it and everything like that, and bring that to the Guam culture?
I think it's similar to what the dinner team said. It's all about adapting and trying new things and being creative with it. So for us, when we did our own, a lot of the spices that we searched for weren't really known here. So we had to improvise. And I know even the dinner team, they even make their own spices by mixing spices together to actually make their curry. And like some things that we learned was different techniques. So for our pork, it's tandoori pork style, and tandoori is just the way they cook it. So it was fun to learn about how preparation happens within Indian cuisine.
Mm-hmm. And this is a new technique that you can now carry with you as you go on to your professional careers, and you've got this the rest of your life. I mean, there's a lot of Indian restaurants on Guam, and they're watching right now, so I know they're going to say, well, wow, I'm going to give that person a call because, that person knows how to do it and they know how to do it right. And they cook with love. And I got to tell you guys, each one of you guys in the GCC Culinary Academy, you and all your classmates, you guys are rock stars because you do so much for our people here on Guam, because there's so many people hurting. And especially like after, yes, thank you, Chef Paul. Yeah, this is for all you guys, because there's so many people hurting on Guam. People have had to, quarantine for such a long time, and they're like, man, I'm eating, the same thing over and over, or, my family's, money's real tight and everything. And the fact that you guys are actually giving people, a hot, amazing custom lunch and dinner for, $10 and everything like that, you guys are really bringing happiness to a lot of families on Guam. So thank you guys for what you do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I just want to say, one of the students here, she once told me, I used to be a picky eater, but now I'm an adventurous eater. You know who she is.
You want to name names, Chef?
Jamie Ann.
Very cool. I mean,
you're all grown up now, girl.
You are your own best customer. And that's going to make you, and I'm sure Chef Paul would agree that that's going to make you a better chef.
I just wanted to add on that we also expanded on, we kind of stumbled on this, but if the cars just come up, we're going to offer curbside service, and we'll even bring the meals to your vehicle.
That is fantastic.
Wow.
And so, Chef, are you still at the GCC kitchen? Because I know you said previously you guys were at the multi-purpose room, but then there are some classes that are you guys had to shift things around. Are you still at the kitchen today?
Oh, yes. We're running lunch and dinner out of the kitchen.
Okay, so make sure to check out...
Chris, you know where you came into the classroom. That's where we're serving the food.
Can't miss it. Chef, can you bring a couple extra plates and we'll pay when you get here?
How many plates?
2.
What? Just for good measure, we're going to throw in some dinner items, a little bit of hummus. You got to try this hummus.
Yeah,
it's
okay,
really
I'm
good.
down. I'm not going to say no. Oh, yeah, okay, if you insist.
Thank you so much, Chef Paul. $10. Okay, Link family watching right now, if you're watching us on Facebook, make sure to make plans. Tell your friends. Go check out these wonderful, amazing chefs at GCC. They've prepared an incredible Indian lunch and dinner for you. Only $10. It's worth way more than that. So, I mean, they're really bringing their passion and helping you out. So, chefs, thank each and every one of you. You guys are amazing, and thank you for allowing us to experience the cuisine of India.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, have a great day, guys.
Stay safe, everyone.
All right, best of luck. Let's get to work. You guys got a kitchen waiting. All right, and we have got Dave Della Sola, the director of the Department of Labor, standing by in the Zoom room, and we're going to get to him after this break.
Catch the barbecue
Family
and
platter of fried chicken.
Check.
Tray of red rice.
Check.
Birthday cake.
Check.
1 case of water.
Check.
12-pack of beer.
Check.
2 cases of Pepsi.
Check. When you have a long checklist but are short on time, we got you. Get it delivered by us. Order on the app or website at uno-go.com. Guam on demand.
Shoot, I forgot the paper product.
Oh wait, UnoGo has that too. KUAM's multi-platform morning show, The Link, just got a little more delicious with Feed Me Fridays. Chris, Sabrina, Jason, and the rest of the morning crew will take some time each Friday to talk food, taste food, and bring you all the latest and greatest in food from King's Restaurants and Ruby Tuesday Guam, old faves, new hits, and everything on the menu in between. It's Feed Me Fridays on The Link.
The relationship between Guam and Manila, Philippines is undeniable as we share similar cultural traditions, history, and heritage, with generations of Filipinos calling Guam home. KUAM presents a monthly look at the capital city featuring in-depth and engaging interviews on everything from medical tourism to new business and government leaders. Veteran newscaster Nestor Lecanto delivers Beyond Our Borders. This special program is brought to you by the Bank of Guam and KFC.
Only one company on Guam provides every solar energy solution under one roof. Micronesia Renewable Energy. You want solar only? They got that. You want solar with batteries? They got that too. You want outright purchase or lease purchase? It's up to you. Does your solar system need a tune-up? That's what they do. For solar energy solutions from A to Z, you can count on MRE. Give them a call at 632-2613 for a free consultation. MRE, providing real solar solutions built by real solar experts.
Get the job done the right way by getting the right stuff at East West Rental Center. With years of experience helping builders, we definitely got what you need. Call 646-1463 or visit us in Upper Tumon. Open Monday to Saturday from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. and on Sundays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information.
Through the month of April, KUAM News and the KUAM Care Force features Sustainability Matters, building awareness for environmental issues, highlighting activists, and showcasing businesses and individuals making a difference in our community. Watch a special series on Mondays on KUAM News featuring different aspects of thinking green in our community. Awareness messages on every platform giving you tips for leading a more sustainable lifestyle. The Dirty Politics Weekly feature with The Link live on location with Chris and Sabrina visiting different villages with political leaders and addressing environmental problems in our community. And this year, the Think Green annual cleanup goes virtual. Organize your community cleanup, post and tag with hashtag ThinkGreenGuam, and we'll feature your cleanup on our multimedia platforms and in a special montage on KUAM News Weekend Edition during the last weekend in April. Sustainability Matters, part of the KUAM Care Force's commitment to our community. In partnership with the University of Guam Center for Island Sustainability and Guam Green Growth. Presented by Green Energy Solutions, Inc. Reduce before you produce. GESI.
I was in love with you. I was in love with you.
Jonah Hanum, The Link, good morning. East West Rental, Cabo Enterprises, Carrier, IT&E, and Jack in the Box. Bringing you this Thursday, April 29th episode of The Link. With Dave Della Sola on for his Department of Labor update this morning. Good morning, Dave.
Morning, Chris. How you doing today?
Well, it's Thursday.
Yeah, getting close to the weekend.
That's about how we're doing here. Just doing it. How about you?
Everything's going well. I am quite happy with the transition over to the new ARPA plan. I think we've managed to work out most of the kinks, and everybody that was having issues for the most part have been successfully moved over. And yesterday we batched, or I should say Tuesday, we batched $19.3 million. So it's a little bit of a decrease from the previous batch of 25.3. And that's, nothing that surprises us. We're starting to see this island open up. We're seeing a lot more traffic, activities, storms, as we slowly recover and getting our, to the path to half. So, we've seen basically a $6 million drop in PUA benefits. So, I think that hopefully it will be a trend, as we move forward, but we'll see.
So is that what you kind of attribute that $6 million decrease in PUA payouts? Is that people are exiting the program and getting back to work?
Anecdotally, that seems to be the true the reasons. We did look on Hire Guam. There is an increase of posting for employers and an increase in hiring. So, none of this is hard data, but when I look at all the signs from the various areas, it all points to that. And like I said, I'm sure you can agree, when we go out on our island, you see the parking lots, the traffic, everything it's you got spoiled going out on the streets. I can get down to Tuman from my house in, less than 10 minutes. Now it's back up to 15, 20 minutes. And, Micronesian Mall traffic and everything. So it's too early to say 100%, but everything looks towards that.
Yeah, we've been having some job fairs lately. I know UOG had one, and then there was that Longhorn Steakhouse that just had a job fair.
Yeah, we've been keeping a close eye on this activities, and there seems to be a lot of good response, a lot of good turnout, people getting hired. And so, the governor and I are keeping a close eye on the diversity and the amount of businesses that are opening and we're, now that we've worked our way into the new ARPA claims, and that is moving smoothly, we are starting to look into the work search requirements and, when should we actually decide to do something like that, open it up. I don't think there's enough work for, tens of thousands of unemployed to go out and have to do job searches. But I think we're in a good direction. And I think, maybe within a month or so, we'll keep a close eye, and we might make it a requirement for all PUA recipients.
Dave, is that a requirement in place in the States?
Every state is at their option. It depends on where they're at as far as their recovery from COVID and their situation.
And so how serious is the discussion to implement the job search requirement for those who are on the PUA?
Well, I think, what we're doing now is getting everything in place, getting the forms, getting the procedures. We have a call today after I'm done with you with USDOL and then our system provider to go over some of the requirements and the guidelines, so that there's going to be a barrage of questions and people asking everything. I'm trying to get all those guidances written up, and pressed out, so that when we do implement it, it won't come as a surprise to any of our public.
Dave, the national media reports coming out that obviously President Biden is going to address Congress, and I heard he just unveiled another big spending plan. Did you get eyes on that, or did you have any communication with USDOL about what that new plan includes?
No, we haven't gotten anything or seen anything. They won't share anything unless it becomes more concrete. That's just the way USDOL does things. There's too much, as you know, things change, evolve, and you never know what's going to come out until it's actually voted on, because both houses can just, rip it and change it around or not even pass it. So I don't pay attention other than just keep, an awareness of what's going on and what's being said until it actually gets passed.
Dave, what about some of these training opportunities you were talking about a couple weeks ago? Are we getting closer to starting those up?
Yeah, that's a good question, and I'm glad that you asked that because that's what I'm really working hard towards now that we seem to transition fairly well into the ARPA plans and everything is going smoothly. I've been meeting with the various training providers and trying to put together a laundry list of all the training activities that they will be doing, when they're going to be doing, class sizes, so that I can basically press out to the general public all the different varieties of certificate boot camps, training that all our service providers are doing. And they are working, now that we're in PCOR 3 and classrooms can resume, they have to just keep it, the social distancing and the class size is smaller than typical. But yes, we're working now, even getting some new service providers. I have one that I was talking with who might, be able to provide some entrepreneurship, business planning, how to put together, how to start a business for some of these new millennials that want to come out and, and jump into the business and open up anything from food trucks to takeouts to whatever kind of convenience. A lot of them do not know how to put together a business plan and how to sustain capital and what it takes to get all the licenses and permits. So I'm excited to get that one added onto our list of different types of trainings. But the ones that are graduating now out of GCC is the truck driving. That cohort of people that are graduating out of that all have jobs when they graduate, and that seems to be a very successful. So I want to continue working with that and do some more. We have some heavy equipment operations. They're looking at doing home health care. They're looking at, of course, medical code and billing. There's CNA, certified nursing assistants, home health care, child care. There's all the trades, HVAC. We are trying to diversify and hopefully hit a lot of the interests of some of these unemployed because of COVID. And I have a couple $1 million that's available for them. So if they qualify, so come down to the AJC, make an appointment, get registered on your Hire Guam, put up your profile. That's going to be a requirement for when we step into job search. So what I'm trying to, sorry, I'm jumping around because there's so much going on. But what I'm trying to get out to the employers is that we have a Hire Guam website, which is like a job finder or job site. And it's free. And every one of these unemployed or PUA recipients, when we turn on job search, is required to register and put up their profile. And it's the easiest way for them to do a job search. So you're going to have tens of thousands of people on that. So employers, put in your jobs in there, because you're going to have a lot of people in there. And I hope that it's only as good as the number of employers and the number of employees. So it's a free service. It complements your job fairs. It complements what other paid services that you have. And like I said, it's free. So, I'm just trying to lay the stage for us moving in and PUA shutting down in September. And, everybody, go out there and start getting training, start looking for the jobs now, and don't wait till September.
Yeah, Dave, I was going to ask, so September, obviously this round runs out. Are you hearing about any other PUA programs that might be instituted after September?
No, I'm not. In fact, most of what I'm hearing is that that will probably be the last of the assistance. Now, one thing that we've learned about this COVID is anything can happen, right, and waves and spreads. But as it looks now, the states unemployment has been dropping. We seem to be following that same trend, if we're not even ahead of them. I am aware, and one of the biggest issues about me turning on the job search and working with the governor on that is our main number one industry, which is tourism, is still going to be shut down. And forcing all them to do job search when you have that industry still on hold, we have to have that balance of what is fair and what's right. But these are things that we're looking at and discussing, and I'm sure we'll come to a good conclusion, working closely with the governor and having us work with different private sector, Chamber of Commerce and Guam Hotel and Restaurant. I'm always working with them in anything that we do.
Right, Dave. I got my calculator out. I just was wondering if an individual was on the PUA and the FPUC from the beginning of round one into round two, how much would that be a week, and how much would they have made just being on the program for this long?
About 50 grand.
50 G's. Wow.
So, that's what's keeping our island afloat. Yeah. And I just requested another $330 million from USDOL to carry us through. And I think, I made sure that we put in a little padding in there to make sure that we cover all kinds of unforeseeable. And so, right now we've requested over $1 billion for my program, or for our program to run. And, I can't say enough that is been out there and used and being spent in the economy. And I of course, I have to wear my lecture hat and say, please save some for when PUA goes out. Don't blow all that wad of money all at once, and then when September comes, there's nothing. You have to be smart. That's still a lot of money. There's enough money to do a little bit of everything and still save for your rent and for your power bills and for your car payments and everything. So please, from what I see and from what I heard, I've spoken with the governor, I've spoken with the congressman, I've spoken with USDOL. None of them have said anything as far as any more money coming down.
Right, but Biden just announced a new plan. We don't have the details on it yet. I'm just saying there could be something in there, right? So
you never know.
Yeah.
And that's one thing you don't know about politics is what'll happen. And it's better to prepare for the worst and hope for the best.
Right. Yeah. And so many things.
Write that one down.
Yeah. Is that you think of that yourself?
What's that?
You thought of that yourself, huh? Dave, so if someone was on the PUA, the FPUC from the beginning of the program up to now, they would have made $50,000. That's
give or take.
And then,
so,
I mean, how does that compare to the type of money these guys would make normally? Because I'm assuming a lot of them is like minimum wage jobs.
That's about a year and a half worth of work. Or not assistance, I should say. Yeah. So $50,000, I think that's more than, a lot more than minimum wage salaries. Yeah. And, we have the whole gamut of people on our program. I don't know if you saw some of the demographics that was put out there. I mean, we have, majority of the people were reduced in hours, we have everybody from doctors to master's degree and bachelor's degree, all the way down to people with no high school degree or elementary school. Yeah. So this has affected everybody and anybody and all walks of income levels. I know I have a lot of self-employed friends that still haven't recovered and are out there. So, this has been a great help, not only to Guam, but to the whole nation standing and, getting by this whole economy. But there's, a lot of people have starting to get atrophied, laying on that couch, watching those Netflixes and getting. And
that's tough though, Dave, to go from making 50 grand and federal assistance and go out here and grab a minimum wage job. I mean, there's got to be an adjustment period where obviously people on this PUA who were making, I mean, that's like a professional salary. I mean, it's not as much as like a digital content creator or manager or whatever makes at the governor's office, but it's up there, and so when they go back on
radio jockey or anything like that, or news people, they get a lot better.
I don't know about all that. Nice dig though, Dave. But yeah, I mean, what do you make of that adjustment when someone goes from being on the PUA to working for minimum wage, making way less?
It's going to be a painful transition to a lot of people. And that's why I just keep preaching now, because it's inevitable and it's human nature. When September comes, they're going to come crying for help. They're going to be crying for work. They're going to be crying for assistance. And those who are smart enough to get up and get the jobs now, to get the training that's free, to get them in a new career path, those are the ones that are going to be doing okay. I'm happy to say that a lot of the ones that were in my COVID recovery, my disaster grant, we sent out about 230 people we hired, and we sent them out to the hospitals, to public health, to GMH, to the clinics, to the mayor's office. They assisted, and instead of staying home and getting our island back together. And we had, out of those, we had 69 people that were picked up for work. So that's what I try to tell people. Take advantage of every opportunity you have, work hard, and when people see you and they see you working hard, they want to hire you. And 69 people out of 230 some people, that's a pretty good success for them, just recovery. Some are public health, some of them are at the various hospitals and clinics. So, that shows that, hard work and perseverance will pay off.
Dave, I want to ask, the governor's getting the $600 million. Has DOL put in any requests for any of that money? And if so, what would you use it for?
Well, we put in for a little bit. Most of what we put on are for succession training. We want to hire, there's a lot of our people that are going to be retiring or are retiring age. And one example would be, I want to hire a junior economist. Gary Hiles is a valuable resource, and I lend him out for all of government and for all the banking, for everybody, because there's only like 2 of them on this island.
Yeah.
And he already has over 30 years in. So I want to get 2 junior economists in and have them trained under him to do our unemployment and employment reports and all our statistical data and reporting, and get them trained up and get them to become, ready to take over his reins. And we can have him become more of a government overall consultant for us with his valuable experience. Those are the kind of things that I've asked for. Just like a half a dozen staff that are ready to retire that we want to start doing succession training.
Right. What about staff in terms of like wage and hour, enforcement, the other divisions that we normally hear from that we haven't really heard from because of this huge PUA program? Are you looking for funds to bring those on?
Our wage and hours division has been pretty busy. there's still been a lot of complaints coming in, and so that hasn't stopped at all. You just don't hear about it too much because a lot of them, of course, we take care of. We've been working and partnering very closely with Patrick Candeletta at the U.S. DOL Wage and Hour, and I want to thank him. He understands that I got our hands full with PUA and MOU partnering together. He's taken some of our caseload and run with it, but we still have been moving forward with a lot of our caseload. Our workers' comp division has always been something that has been a challenge. I'm on the final stages of bringing an attorney on, I hope, and I've looked and identified some extra resources to be brought in so that we can get some people trained up. That's an area that I've been trying to keep, my finger on, and it's been tough because PUA has been taking a lot of my time. And all our other divisions from OSHA to Fair Employment, they've all been very busy now as we opened up. I mean, some of them, they can't do inspections. They can't go out and visit businesses when most of them are closed. But yes, those are the kind of places that we're trying to look at succession training, adding resources, because, we want to plan for the future and for the growth of our business community.
Thank you, Dave. Appreciate your time. We'll catch up on some of those other issues next time. I'm already tired of hearing about PUA, making me malago, 50 G's.
Oh, you and me both. I just want to return back to the doing labor stuff.
Right on, Dave. Take it easy.
Take care, and thank you for having me on, Chris.
Always. 7:59. Good morning. Yeah, I wonder if there's going to be any assistance. Maybe the $600 million we should. I mean, because God, going from PUA to whatever, flipping burgers or working at a steakhouse or whatever, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. So maybe they should have like a federal. I just got off PUA assistance. What? PUA claims. 7:59.
You're right, though. I mean,
yeah,
you're right when you said it is kind of hard to step away from that. But
Yeah.
Dave makes a very good and very valid point.
Yeah.
Come September.
Hope you guys enjoyed it, is all I'm going to say, because I know some of you are pretty able-bodied out there, and a lot of people have just been milking this. I mean, last year, yeah, of course, and I just don't think there's enough jobs out here. So I'm not one of these, like, get a job, you bum.
But he's
kind of
also
people.
been saying his own words, he said he's saying till he's blue in the face and
Yeah.
everything like that. Do
Save your
not
money.
be one of the last ones to wait in
Yep.
line.
Right on. 7:59, real quick break, coming back on KUAM TV, and we're going to kick it up a notch here on The Link. Good morning.
We got your 6.
At 6 a.m. with The Link on Breeze 93.9 FM. Bree and I connect you with all the latest news and information
What are the
you need to know to start your day.
Then check back with Guam's news leader at 6 p.m. for the day's top headlines with KUAM News Primetime.
From 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and everything else in between with KUAM Digital, we got your 6. Good morning and welcome to the Thursday, April 29 episode of The Link. My name is Chris.
I'm Jason. And did you watch King Godzilla versus King Kong?
Yeah, I watched. It was on a couple times.
Because you were thumping away at your chest. Yeah.
Yep.
Were you inspired by Mr. Skull Island, or
Yeah, I love Kong.
yeah,
Team Kong.
Team Kong.
It's 8:01.
We're related to him technically.
We are, yeah, because he's an islander.
Yeah.
He's from Skull Island. Okay.
And somewhere,
Is that what kind of show we're gonna have?
somewhere in biology. I mean, he's
Yeah.
a primate. He's like,
You're right.
No, what'd you say? What'd you call him last time? Primo Kong.
Yeah, Primo Kong. Nino Kong. It's 8:02 again, Thursday, April 29th, 2021. Wow, almost May. Just a couple days away from the target date, reaching the path to half. Hey, remember, it's not over. It's only half.
Yeah. And as we were saying,
we're only going to half. We still got a whole other half after that, guys. But, you know what I mean? Baby steps, baby steps.
And as we were saying, the path to half should be by the end of the business day on Friday, right? That's when they're going to tally like how many vaccinations we have. So,
Yeah.
So it's not like tomorrow morning at 6 a.m.
And then we're going to get a medal. Then they're going to be achievement unlocked. And then guess what? It's on to the next thing. Yep, it's never over. It's on to the next thing. And what is the next thing? The veritable unicorn of a pandemic. The vaunted, legendary herd immunity, which is 80%. And everybody's saying, yeah, 50% got it. It's in the bag. 80%, not so much. I don't know. We'll see. A little unnerving, too. This news lately, yesterday, coming out about 2 fully vaccinated doctors. Guys, they're trying to downplay this. Okay, I'm not saying, like, freak out, lock yourself in the basement. But I feel like it's kind of serious. I mean, we got 2 doctors who were fully vaccinated coming in from India. Just Google India. So these doctors came in on April 17th, I want to say.
Let me look that up. I think you're right.
He's going to play the package in a little bit. But, they came in on April 17th. Well, if you just Google, like, India hotspot, it says, like, from 3 weeks ago, India, the hotspot. So, yeah, obviously these guys were coming from it's a hotspot. And what does it matter if you're a doctor or a garbage man? What does it matter if you're coming from a hotspot? Because the doctor can spread the virus just as easily as someone who flips burgers or fries. What is that? We're all human. We bleed the same blood. So why is it that we have one set of rules for people who are quote unquote essential and another set of rules for people who are just not important enough, And I'm just saying there's inconsistencies. Yeah, I get it. A doctor is essential. Of course, duh. Right? I mean, they're saving lives. Theoretically, that's how it works. But some of the other exemptions we give don't really make sense. So these 2 doctors came back, and what we heard, let me just tell you what we heard. We heard that they were working at the hospital. They started getting sick, started getting symptoms. People were kind of freaking out because Guam is small. Everybody knew they came from India the day before India reported a record 200,000 new COVID-19 cases. Oh, my God, Becky. So staff at GMH were obviously triggered by these 2 doctors working, getting sick. Then I heard they got a fever. Then they got tested. Test came back positive. Now, remember, in the story that Adriana Cotero did, they came in with their negative tests. But, God, much like being vaccinated, I mean, it's so weird to me in this pandemic. We hold things up like they're some sort of holy grail. But in reality, they mean almost nothing. For example, a negative PCR test coming in from whatever destination, like you could have COVID and still test negative. It's just crazy, right? So we hold the testing up there like, just get tested. But if I'm exposed to COVID and I'm like, go get tested the next day, there might not be enough of the COVID cooties in me to trigger the test. We saw it with the Guard that got deployed to Washington, D.C. in American. They came back, they tested negative. Like a couple days later, they were positive. So that's what happened with these 2 doctors, is they came in, they had their negative test, went to work, started sniffles, whatever symptoms, fever, then were tested, turned out positive. Lillian Posada straight up yesterday was like, "Oh, Chris, you got me. Ho, 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 not going to lie." That was kind of funny. Because she doesn't. Like Lillian Posadas, I don't believe, I'm pretty sure, of course, they all lie at one point or another. You just have to lie in government. It's like a prerequisite. You do. It is what it is, guys. I'm not saying they lie all the time, but I'm pretty sure there was at least one occasion where they weren't honest. But I like to believe that Lillian is, if you ask her straight up, point blank, she'll answer. But if you don't ask it like the right way, or you don't, you get nothing. Right? But yeah, she was like, "Okay, woo, got me. Not going to lie. That's exactly what happened." But then she had said that they were waiting on a confirmatory test, which to me didn't really make sense, because if she got the report on Monday, we spoke to her yesterday, it's just a little interesting that they would wait so long to do a confirmatory test. Because usually, like, okay, when Sabrina had symptoms, she went to go get tested. And it ended up being allergies, guys. She was negative, but because she had the symptoms, they gave her a confirmatory test right there.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So we understand, and it's not really hidden knowledge about testing, and we're all pretty much COVID experts, And thankfully, because, during this show, we've had all the doctors on here, hours upon hours upon hours of doctors telling us all about testing and COVID and transmission and when you can get tested and what will show up depending on the timeline of when you get tested after exposure. So these doctors were fully vaccinated. And where I'm a little worried is that Indian variant. Because we already have the California variant, which, like, the California variant, if you look at all the variants, it's like the most chill. It's the surfer variant. It's like, yeah, bro. Just
It quite literally is the California variant.
yeah, it's like, okay, dude, like, just chilling, bro. Yeah, California variant's like, okay, whatever. British variant, it's like, oh, a spot of tea. Would you like some crumpets? But that's very polite. But the India variant is crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, and so I'm just like, are we even worried about this? We reached out to public health, got nothing. I asked Art St. Augustine, hey, can someone come on? Because, Friday they were like, oh my God, everybody was exposed. We need to test everyone. There's a basketball cluster here, a cluster there, a cluster everywhere, a cluster. But now it's like, okay, what else is going on? So, I mean, I reached out to public health and I'm like, hey, people are still like, you guys came out and you did this big push. Like, got to maintain that messaging, that visibility. So Dr. Hoa just actually said, you're funny. I know. What can I say? Yeah, so moral of the story, guys, just stay away from the hot spots, right? And so, yeah, and it's also because I was thinking about it last night. Should we worry about it? Are they going to send these samples off to the CDC so we can get them back like 3 months later when it's too late, right? I mean, God, we sent the samples off. We need to connect to the CDC. Someone find out if there's a Chamorro working at the CDC.
Yep.
Because we sent all our samples and it was like, dude, 3 months later, or however it was a while.
Can you imagine if there is a Chamorro in there? It's like, hey, man, I realize.
Hey, dude, just bring it to the back.
There's a protocol for this, and there's like no need.
No need. We're gonna just bring it to the back. Put up around the side. Right on.
Chris, you got the Nazi?
Yeah. So yeah, we don't know if it's the variant. Of course, that's the concern, right? Because Lillian said, "Oh yeah, we're concerned. We're looking at the protocols." And that's the thing is like for essential personnel, especially like DOD, like the military, the doctors, right? I'm assuming other like healthcare type personnel. I think they just get to go right home to home quarantine, and they undergo what's called ROM, restriction of movement, where they're supposed to just go from their house to their work, and then I believe they can also go to the grocery store because that's essential. Like, gotta eat, So Lillian said that the hospital was looking at whether or not they need to change their protocols for staff who are returning from travel. I just think right off the bat, we need to go back to that policy where if you're coming from a hot spot, it's like, do not get out of quarantine. You're going in no matter what. I don't care how many stethoscopes you got around your neck. You're going in because you came from a hot spot. It's pretty basic, guys. You know, and the governor lectured us for letting our guard down last week. Well, what the hell is this? Kind of seems like they're letting their guard down. Got to be vigilant, guys. And I got to say that last night I was thinking about the irony. I mean, it is ironic, but it is what it is. The irony that pretty much everybody who told us to be careful and don't catch the virus caught the virus, right? Wasn't that weird? Like the governor caught the virus, the lieutenant governor caught the virus, Chimo Mbakwem, who's in charge of the quarantine, caught the virus, Dr. Cabrera caught the virus. Yeah, I mean, I didn't catch the virus, knock on wood. You know, we did pretty good, guys. But I just got to say, I don't know if that's ironic because I'm a cynical guy, obviously. Or is it more that anybody could catch it at any time? Well, if that's the case, then don't chew us out for letting our guard down. It's 8:12. Yeah, so that's my little, is the India variant here? Because I just don't know. Like, I would think that public health would come up. But you know what's really, really, to me, like, the craziest thing? Is like, we didn't ask Lillian about that. We wouldn't even have known. They would have just not said anything. That's why it's very important. Every day we wake up here, we are thinking, what questions are we going to ask? Because it's all about asking those questions. Okay, so there you go. 8:14, there's always a lot to talk about coming up on the show. I know the governor had also written to President Biden, who's getting ready to address the Congress. She wrote to him relative to issues that were raised with the military buildup and the construction of the firing range. These issues raised locally, of course, but also in a report by the United Nations. So we'll talk about that letter coming up. We're getting Senator Tello, who broke from her Republican colleagues in support of this Senator Sabina Perez clean drinking water resolution thing. And then we'll get Senator Frank Blas on because he's been writing letters. These Republicans, they love to write letters, man. They're bringing it back. It's a lost skill. You know, no one really writes letters anymore. It's all text, shorthand, right? It's good. We need to write more letters. Promotes literacy. Just make sure the people you're writing letters to know how to read. It's 8:15. Let's go ahead and get into the news because he's getting antsy over there. For the off-island, Sabrina Salas Mantanani with the very latest from the KUAM News team. Jason Salas, good morning.
Well, I'm supposed to follow that.
This is a little, a little open, bro.
Opinion / rant / public service announcements.
It is what it is,
Morning greetings.
Right on.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well, I'll tell you what we can follow that with is news that an employee at Augusta Johnson Middle School has tested positive for COVID-19. Close contact individuals have been identified and notified. Areas of the Ordet Talampago School campus were cleaned and disinfected, and the employee is currently isolation. Regular hours of operations at Augusta Johnston returned today. The island's CAR score has dipped to 0.8 after being 0.9 yesterday after 12 new COVID cases were confirmed out of 557 tests on Tuesday. The island's positive case count is now approaching 8,000 in almost 14 months. With 136 deaths, there are currently 76 active cases on island and 5 hospitalized people. If you are one of the many island residents waiting to get your shot, you can book an appointment today to get it today or Friday, I should say, or Saturday at the Public Health Southern Community Health Center down in Inalahan. You can go to KUM.com/vaccination and book your appointment online. Vaccines will be distributed from 9 a.m. until 3 in the afternoon. Well, the March to the Path of Half continues with tomorrow being the deadline to immunize 50% of the island's adult population. 69,521 of your fellow islanders have received the first dose, and 53,352 Guameans are now fully vaccinated. We're going to take you back to the newsroom now with our link update. Tyler Matinani is standing by with the news you need to know as you make your way around on this Thursday morning.
Buenos stand half a day, everyone. I'm Tyler Matinani with your headlines here on The Link. Some alarming news out of the Guam Memorial Hospital as 2 fully vaccinated GMH doctors returned back on island from a hotspot destination last week and have since tested positive for COVID-19.
Guam Memorial Hospital Administrator Lillian Posadas received the report on Monday that a couple of GMH doctors returned from India and over the weekend were experiencing COVID symptoms. Posadas tells KUAM the doctors arrived on island on April 17th, right before India's surge as the Middle Eastern country's COVID crisis continues to deepen. The doctors, however, were given quarantine exemptions as Posadas says they had negative PCR tests upon arrival that were accepted. She confirms that the doctors were cleared and responding to a handful of patients, including a COVID patient seen by one of the doctors. Public health officials have said that someone exposed to the virus can test negative if tested too soon after exposure. Both doctors, after experiencing COVID symptoms, underwent an Abbott ID test and were positive for COVID-19. They are currently in isolation.
We want to also make sure that the PCR, because that's basically the confirmatory test. If those PCR tests come back, negative, then that gives us that assurance that they're free of the infection.
While GMH awaits confirmatory PCR test results, Posadas says the hospital is re-examining their protocols as this does draw major concerns for our lone public hospital designated for COVID response.
Sure, absolutely, there's concern, but everybody again continues to wear the protective gear, and so with contact tracing, our infection control and employee health are following through with the contact tracing.
KUAM reached out to Public Health PIO Janela Carrera for an update on their contact tracing efforts and any potential exposures. As of news time, we have not received a response. And we should note the COVID-19 hospitalization census has increased to 5 patients. There are no COVID patients in the intensive care unit or on ventilator support.
A 10% increase in water rates was approved by the Consolidated Commission on Utilities in a meeting Tuesday night. The hike is part of an ongoing 5-year plan to gradually raise rates to pay for major capital improvements to the water and sewer system. The improvements are mandated under a long-standing federal consent decree to bring GWA's system in compliance with the Clean Water Act. CCU member Simon Sanchez explains.
For the last 20 years of rebuilding the entire system with 5-year rate adjustments, keep it as affordable as we can and spread it out. And this next set of rate hikes that we're looking at would produce the seeds for $340 million of improvements.
GWA plans to raise rates by another 10% next year and by 7% the following year. The increase must still be approved by the Public Utilities Commission. State memorial services were held Wednesday for 10-term Senator and former Speaker Joe Taitano in Augustin. He was honored for his many years of public service, his financial expertise, and his strong advocacy for the Government of Guam Retirement Fund. Delivering the eulogy was his nephew and longtime staffer Tyrone Taitano. He shared a time during the 21st Guam legislature when Senator-elect Marilyn Wonpat passed away prior to inauguration. The Democrats and Republicans were deadlocked at 10 members each, but they eventually chose St. Augustine to lead them.
Gloss over the elements of politics or personalities involved in moments like this. However, not every legislator could have pulled off a result like that. It was a testament to who Joe T. was as a person, his qualities as a leader, and the respect and trust people have for him throughout his public service career. That if the Republicans secured a majority, he would resign as Speaker and give the new majority the opportunity to put forth its own candidate for the post. That was the kind of leader Joe T. St. Augustine was.
The former Speaker was predeceased by his wife Carmen, and they are survived by 5 children. Joe passed away on April 15th at the age of 90. That's the news for now. We'll see y'all at 6 tonight on Primetime.
Thanks so much, Ty. We do have developing news right now. It was about 20 minutes ago. There evidently was an accident as the 911 service did confirm an auto crash with serious injuries at the Santa Monica Avenue and the Farmers Co-op, that of course right up the street from us here in Dedido. That happened just after 8 o'clock. Units are on scene. Medics did transport a single adult male with CPR administered in progress to the nearby Guam Regional Medical City. We'll get you up to speed on that as we find out information. Well, in other news, congratulations to the Friars as the volleyball squad at FD captured their fourth straight boys volleyball championship. As Coach Steve Pangilinan led his team to a straight set win over a very stout Harvest Eagles team to complete their four-peat. In other news, when the pandemic hit and we were forced into lockdown, many turned to gardening as therapy to cope with the isolation we experienced, and still others embraced it as a return to sustainable living. Jonah Goncharfis continues her week-long series, taking a look at sustainability, profiling Back to Nature Gardening and Hydroponics, which opened their doors last November, pivoting their hobby into a business.
Sustainability Matters, in partnership with the University of Guam Center for Island Sustainability and Guam Green Growth, presented by Green Energy Solutions, Inc.
When the pandemic hit and we were forced into lockdown, many turned to gardening as a natural therapy for coping with the isolation we were experiencing, and others embraced it as a return to sustainable living. Back to Nature Gardening and Hydroponics opened its doors in November last year. Co-owner India Sakaguchi.
Like everybody else, when the pandemic hit, we had to kind of reevaluate our lives in general. We did have a business that was quite tourist dependent, so we had to scale that way back. We basically turned our hobby of gardening into a business by bringing in a lot of the products that we saw were doing really well in other stores around Guam. We haven't stopped yet. We're still taking customer requests all the time, trying to bring in whatever people are looking for, but we're just really happy to be Guam's first dedicated garden center. You won't find any other hardware store items here. It's pure green.
No matter what you're growing, and whether it's indoors or outdoors, Sakaguchi says they offer soil, fertilizer, nutrients, pest control, pots, and measuring meters to ensure you get a successful crop. She adds that if there was a positive from this pandemic, it's been people turning to their gardens and realizing the importance of sustainability.
Before the pandemic hit, we were all embroiled in our 9-to-5s. We didn't have that much time to focus on our houses, on our gardens. And as soon as we were in quarantine, we suddenly realized, oh, hey, this space that's just been, sitting around vacant with nothing in it would look really great with like a planter and some, vegetables. And why don't I turn this other space into like a, aesthetic orchid wall? Or so many people did turn to gardening. Even though they go back to the normal way of life, I don't think they're going to forget what they've learned these past 12 months. And I think it's a good way forward. A lot of the customers who come to us are younger, and they'll say, my grandma taught me how to, plant this, and my granddad taught me how to raise chickens, and it's good for Guam.
Back to Nature's NFT hydroponic systems have drawn a great deal of interest from those who live in smaller houses and apartments with no space for traditional soil-based farming.
With the hydroponic systems, which are great for leafy greens, they can be growing all of the lettuce, kale, bok choy, spinach, all of those leafy greens that go through a relatively quick vegetative stage. They don't have very developed root systems, and that's why they grow very well in the hydroponic systems. And then you can just harvest your salads off your balcony. How awesome is that?
And she has this message for the people of Guam.
Some people think that, Guam's soil isn't good, so you can't grow anything, and that's just not true. You can grow so many different things. The soil is completely different from north to south anyway. Use what you have, grow what can be grown, and if you need to use a different type of soil, the soils are readily available. Our climate here allows us to grow so many fruits and vegetables year-round. We're so lucky and blessed that we have the environment and the climate that we do.
You can stop by Back to Nature Gardening and Hydroponics located in Tamuning behind AK. For more information, you can also follow and like their page on Instagram and Facebook. Just look for Back to Nature Guam.
Sustainability Matters, in partnership with the University of Guam Center for Island Sustainability and Guam Green Growth, presented by Green Energy Solutions, Inc.
All right, thanks, Joan. Great job on that story. Let's zip you over to PD now, as students of the Guam National Guard's Advanced Leadership Course conducted training exercises near the Port Authority. It was the first time that soldiers were able to stay on island for the training in over a decade. Tyler Matanani has this next story.
24 soldiers from the Guam National Guard were challenged with putting their knowledge to the test. For 2 days, soldiers conducted training exercises near the Port Authority of Guam for the Advanced Leaders Course, or ALC class. It's the first time Guam has been able to offer Guard members the course on island in over a decade. Guam National Guard Public Affairs Officer Captain Mark Scott.
It enables soldiers in the Guam National Guard to get promoted from their E5 to their E6, or sergeant to staff sergeant.
Training effects included the use of blank ammunition and flashbang simulators. Soldiers are usually required to go off-island to receive the training, but thanks to the recent accreditation of the Guam Guard's 203rd Regional Training Institute, soldiers were able to train at home base. Sergeant Thomas Guess is from the Mississippi National Guard and is the infantry SME for the RTIs across the nation.
Sergeant Bailey is from the 154th RTI out of Mississippi. Colonel Honeycutt's our commander. So the purpose for coming here to Guam is to conduct 11 Bravo ALC and to see if Guam could possibly support running their own 11 Bravo ALCs in the future, maybe.
The training was a culmination of ALC exercises, and soldiers were tasked with putting 3.5 weeks worth of training to the test.
We've had a lot of classroom environment. We've done some range stuff. So here's where we use our blanks and, other non-lethal rounds.
As rainfall and sunshine steamed and thickened the air and jungle tangled their paths, Guam's landscape offered realism of the environmental stresses of combat.
They're definitely being challenged out here on the Styx lanes, but it's nothing out of the ordinary for soldiers at their level.
30-year-old Sergeant Ray Victor San Nicolas from Alpha Company 1st 294th Infantry Regiment is one of the ALC students. He explained that going into the training, he expected to gain knowledge and experience on the island's terrain.
I was expecting to learn and grow, which is what has happened progressively since we've been going through the phases.
The soldiers recently graduated from ALC Phase 1 and are now in Phase 2, the last portion of their training, and are expected to graduate in a couple of days. San Nicolas said the training has been physically and mentally challenging, but the team has found strength in each other.
We're all from Guam, we're all from the same battalion, and we all know each other. We cover each other's left and right, front and back, and we're just there for each other. We're the driving force for us to keep pushing forward, motivation.
Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Tyler Matanani.
Thanks so much, Ty. Well, since sunup yesterday, residents lined up at the Manila and Barrigada food commodity distribution sites. Isaiah Uggan takes you to Central Guam for this report.
We went to the food commodities distributions held in the central villages, which both had over 100 cars lining up 3 hours before it began. At the old carnival grounds in Tizan, the Barrigada Mayor's Office gave out 750 packages of frozen and dry goods from the TFAB food program and the USDA. Mayor June Blah says that it proceeded well and she has seen an increase of her village's residents taking advantage of the free food opportunity.
Yes, so the last time we had was 500, and even that was not enough. So we had to ask for an additional 250, at least to do a cushion to help our residents. So we do try to give us what we can, to our residents that are still in need.
Meanwhile, over in Manila, residents made their way to the night market area where food was being distributed. Mayor Alan Nangata says the flow was smooth because of the assistance provided by AmeriCorps members and his office staff. He explained that the demand for the food is high.
The program, you can see it's a great need, and with the line it's been since this morning, we appreciate them taking advantage, and like I said, it shows that there's still a need for the food for our constituents and our community.
He added that when the program first started last year, they only distributed 400 items worth of commodities. Now that has grown to 600. Angata plans to request for 200 more of food commodities after he sees the results of next week's distribution. The Manila Mayor's Office will hold another free food distribution at the same location next week, Wednesday, May 5th, beginning at 8:30 a.m. Reporting for Guam's News Network, Guahusi, Isaiah Uggan.
In from a coronavirus experiment in Barcelona. Crowds packed an indoor concert venue to see if COVID cases would spike. Ian Lee reports.
5,000 indie rock fans let loose at a concert in Barcelona.
wearing masks but ditching social distancing as part of a COVID trial last month.
We can be sure that this has not been a super spreading event.
Researchers in Spain found no signs of an outbreak, with only 6 people testing positive for COVID-19 after the event, a lower transmission rate than the rest of the city at the time. Concert goers had to take rapid COVID tests on their way in, getting results through an app on their phones. The test and a mask were included in the ticket price. The British government has launched similar COVID experiments at indoor and outdoor sporting venues across the UK, hoping to reveal whether big events drive up infections. Thousands of English football fans, that's soccer to the rest of us, returned to London's Wembley Stadium.
Just need your NHS test result.
But no one got in without showing a negative COVID test. Spectators call it a small price for some freedom.
It's really exciting, and just seeing people stood around again, it's quite a relaxed atmosphere.
But British authorities say they aren't letting their guard down as they track the transmission of the virus. Ian Lee, CBS.
And finally, we're going to speak our island's rich native tongue. Kin Concepcion, Uncle Kin, has today's Chamorro News Update.
Buenas tardes, este asunto que pinut Chamorro ni KUAM News para Webes dia 29 de abril 2021. Si William Poe abogado si Matthew Manibusan sa Faisen ni Korte de mas tempo antes de opis si Manibusan y todo matsakinya. Anok si Manibusan gi Korte para John Raymond ginigam na taluan lo mamaisen si Poe para may continua. Ilengan na gan Merkulis na resibi fa Manibusan da sigon sen seryoso na sinet ni anisisita mas tempo pero ali dan si Manibusan. Mainday sa Manibusan po 2 kwenta na mamuno no primer grado na felony, dyan 1 kwenta po aggravated assault no segundo grado na felony, dyan po gay pakisin lisensya no mina 3 grado na felony. Todi matsakinya sa mana certain loki di espesyal na alegasyon sa po diyan na serbi at mas mamuno ane committee felony. Masakin na package sa puno si Joshua Meno gi diakin si Gabriel. Masoday tataw niya si Meno gi kantunsalan Swamp Road gi sa daditu. Ito na arrangement sa Manibusan sa paredia 3 gi Mansu. Gyoto suntugin ni Korte, di Palawan niya papanay na taki po daan niya dyan na puno ginin mahor humatak Daniel Sanchez sa sempi manangga mas tempo para dyan na arraignment na hearing. Gitaluanin Merkulis na maapunta nuevo na abogado para si Joyner Sked para hiripresenta. Si Sked dyan nabiyw niya Rudy Kinata sa 32 masodni na siya pumunot si Sanchez. Si Kinata sa gay istorya loke no empetesu siya na kinontradisi. Masoda si Sanchez na esta mata yung gitaftap mapos na mes. Yung gumakinata na man maagang ipolisiya para marikonosi lugat kung man mamalika imang gayigwihi. Iprimen na abagaw para idol sa si Randy Cunliffe da mamatinas motion para manarsuag ikausa sa puri kinonfliktan ng interesaw. Ni masangang gikote maski 40 anos esta na tempo. Si Cunliffe representa si Kinata. Za planen niya talo si Kinata. Na si Cunliffe representa gini na kausa. Masedi no ikote izon emotion si Cunliffe. Za mapunta no ikote si Gloria Rudolph para gwita abogao. Ito na arraignment hearing para si Sked sa dia 6 gimatsu. Otro sunto, State Memorial Services sa Society gimatis para ginin speaker dan senador Joe Taitano San Agustin. Maunir si San Agustin put sena na ko na tempo sa BS Lata imenhalom niya put finance dan imenatangan niya para u-defendi retirement fund ay gobernamentong guahan. 20 anos tempon niya si San Agustin gila legislatura. Itsumogwe eulogy sa isobrenyun na dyan hagas empleyao niya si Tyrone Taitano. Hahasot ati si Taitano, gimina 21 na legislaturang guahan, anay matay mayalihin na senador si Marilyn Wampad antes di ma-inaugurate. Tabla to di dos banda na partida ay Democrats and Republican no des na boto kada uno na partida. Logi después todo loko dos banda ma-adject si San Agustin para dinirihi siya. Ilang si Taitano na tiaskon na para mensahe fundamenton politiko pa kinistrumbi gitay gwinin na klasin sa sedimento lo ti todo membro ng legislatura sinamatsogi ibidanya si San Agustin. Kulan magahit testimonyo ni afa na klasin tawtaw si Joe, ikwalidad niya na klasin magas, dan nirespeto sa niya nanguko gin ni tawtaw siya para gwiza entry tempon niya niyo set bay publiko. Mapos finin na yasagwan niya si San Agustin, si Carmen, madingo isingko na famagun niya. 90 anos edad niya si Joe T, anay matay gidiakin si Gabriel. Yuto mo na sunto, gimapos na Sabalo Island Beautification Task Force pat IBTF sa mapalinuzizi Island White Cleanup na sinisedi. Maniya sa ni Guam Visitors Bureau the senfact sa ibidan niya. Sigon ni press release, pati esti na sinisedi wigi celebration ni Earth Month. Sa multitude na sinapot tiyan ay putmit siya na taw-tawgi, mambalentary por fanagaskas. Iguam Solid Waste Authority sa ma-record 34 mit 720 libras na munton basula, manmahokan sumana reda siha, luluk, white goods dan otosia naman sendang kaluna anjuti. I press release sa manotaloki na Guam EPA sa ni Palau Community Association of Guam sa mapuntag batu itilagan na anjuti Barsula give ni Harmon Sinkhole sa ni Kanton Talan Ladder Road gisa dedetu. I-IBTF sa ni GVB sa manay dangkaluna agresemento yung opisina ni Mahod Agat sa ni I-Recycle Program Administrator Peggy Denny ni manasanya the recyclables na basula sa agresemento loki para yung Mr. Rubbishman na kompanya ni managwahan ni the roll-off bins. Para Guam News Network, Gosikin Conception.
Please stay tuned, everybody. We are talking to two of your elected senators when we return on The Link right after this.
It's Dirty Politics Weekly on The Link, live on location. Every week, Chris and Sabrina will interview different political leaders out in the field to address environmental problems in our community. See firsthand how illegal dumps, littering, and other issues are plaguing our beautiful island and what's being done to help. Part of our Sustainability Matters campaign for Earth Month in partnership with the University of Guam Center for Island Sustainability and Guam Green Growth. Presented by Green Energy Solutions, Inc. Reduce before you produce. GESI.
When we throw things away, where is away? What happens to our waste, and where does it go? As a community of small islands, the waste crisis is a large issue we want to bring into focus. Micronesia Climate Change Alliance presents From Our Nanas for Our Nennies, a video series about taking a holistic view of our present, finding wisdom from our past, and inspiring a better future. Airing every week during Earth Month, brought to you by Humanities Guahan and the National Endowment for the Humanities.
This year, the Think Green Annual Cleanup goes virtual. Organize your community cleanup, post and tag with hashtag ThinkGreenGuam on social media. And we'll share your cleanup in our multimedia platforms and in a special montage on KUAM News Weekend Edition during the last weekend in April. Sustainability matters, part of the KUAM Care Force's commitment to our community. In partnership with the University of Guam Center for Island Sustainability and Guam Green Growth. Presented by Green Energy Solutions, Inc. Reduce before you produce. GESI. Special thanks to Micronesian Brokers, Inc.
Alright! This one dedicated to all the islanders and everybody that loves us. This is from me to you and you to me. One love, one big family. Check it out. Let's do this. Tropical sunshine shining on my head. Cool breeze blowing to her silky black hair. What to do? What to do today? We gonna head to the beach. We gonna have a party. Oh yeah, it's going to be a good time when we're out together, showing our island pride.
Oh, yeah.
Our island pride.
Always. Hey, good morning, KUM TV 841, Thursday, April 29th. Here comes May. Wow, it's fast. Huh? I don't know what God did with the time, but since last year, it's just like, you ever watch a movie and you watch it like twice the speed? Yeah, I don't know if you guys do that. I don't even do it, but that's what it feels like we're living in. Let's head into the Zoom room here. The show, by the way, is brought to you by East West Rental, Calvo Enterprises, Carrier, IT&E, and Jack in the Box. Good morning. We had some comments here. about this story that we broke. Miss a link, miss a lot, by the way. Yesterday on the link, 2 doctors, GMH, fully vaccinated, came back from hotspot India, got sick, got tested, positive for the coronavirus. And so we did have some comments here. Wow. Talking about exemptions here. Rosemary Laguatnia says, either they quarantine all incoming with no exemptions or do away with quarantine altogether. Chamarita Regis, I wouldn't be surprised if the link wins the Edward Murrow Award. Last year was under containing COVID. KUAM will definitely be changing the show name to Leaking the Truth in the News. BevTest J. Solis comments in, regardless of your occupation, mandatory 6 days quarantine should be required because COVID doesn't discriminate. The virus has an incubation period to be detected. Especially now Guam is confirmed to have 2 new variants a day. We quarantine our flights incoming, but this is being done for the flights coming in on Anderson. No, they get there's a whole DOD exemption. Chamarita Regis, scare tactics are always in place, either true or not. It's just following the guidelines of CDC. No matter what or where the variant came in, we are all taking the 3 W's seriously. Let's head into the Zoom room now where we have those pesky Republicans. Senator Tello Taitigui, Senator Frank Blas Jr. Good morning, Senators.
Good morning, Chris.
All right.
Good morning, Chris. Good morning, Jason, and the KUAM family, and to the people.
So who are we going to make mad today?
We don't make anybody mad. We just do our job.
That's it. There you go. No, we brought you on, and there's just a whole bunch to talk about, and we'll get to that in a bit. But Senator Tello, Senator Frank, they have a bill that they introduced yesterday relative to war claims. That's right. Yes, war claims are still a thing. I actually got a call from an older lady last week who was asking about the status of the payments. You can actually go on the Guam War Claims Review Commission website, and they have the status of the payouts. But there were a whole bunch of people who didn't make that window, the application window, to apply for the war claims. And that's where your bill comes in, Senator Tello, Senator Frank?
Oh. Tello? I think she's having some internet issues.
Hold on, yeah. You're here, Senator. Good morning.
Yeah, she's having some internet issues. Well, Chris, yeah, I was, first off pleased and thankful that Senator Tello had invited me to, come on as the co-sponsor and work with her on the bill. We believe that this is a bill that can help to resolve a matter and a concern that there were some people who were not able to meet the deadline in the application of the Federal War Claims Settlement Commission process for the Guam World War II survivors. And so what this bill provides is an opportunity for those survivors who did not make the federal cutoff to then have a second or another bite at the apple through a process that would be handled locally with a local commission and utilizing, again, the funds, the Section 30 funds that remained or that was already taken from us to be able to adjudicate these claims. And there may be some excess or funds that's still there, but there's also still that mechanism for that Section 30 draw. So that's what this bill is. I think Tello is back on now, so she can.
Okay, good.
Tello, I was just filling in until you get back on.
I'm so sorry. The power went out, and when the power goes out, that means our internet goes out too as well. So we're back. Yeah, and I'm not sure what you said. I don't want to repeat it, but I'm pretty sure Senator Blas explained pretty much what the bill does. And it's simply for those who were unable to meet the deadline mandated by the federal government. It now allows us to move forward here on Guam to continue. And, you know, one of the things when I was talking with Senator Blas about was the administrative costs that the U.S. Treasury receives from Guam from overseeing this type of program, this claim. And it's unfortunate because, you know, the funding that's used, of course, we all know the funding is used. We have authority over that money, and we can do it right here on Guam. I think there was a comment made that from several people, you know, even former Senator Tony Lamarena, when I spoke to him yesterday, that this is something that could be done on Guam. And last year, I think Congressman Mike St. Nicholas made mention of this as well. So I do know a resolution was introduced earlier this year asking the Congress to extend it, but that was it. I think Senator Frank and I believe that we should continue this on, especially for those who weren't able to reach the deadline or be able to, you know, file their claim in time. And, you know, I had a conversation with somebody because it was the end of the funeral yesterday. We were outside and I met up with the governor and spoke to her about the bill that was introduced that morning. And she said, yes, you know, she totally supports the concept, the intent of moving forward. And I thought that was, you know, it was great. We're on the right direction. I mentioned the work we put into it, calling for a commission on Guam, made up of 5 individuals, and making sure that what's his name, former Senator and Speaker B.J. Cruz be involved as the OPA along with the governor or her appointee, the Speaker of the legislature or her appointee, a member from the public appointed by the governor, and then so appointed by the Mayor's Council as well, a representative there. We also created the fund incorporated in this legislation, the same mechanism that's being paid for right now. And we allowed a 2-year process in order to do this. And that's from the time that the commission is put together and all the way for about 2 years. So I think this is a step forward in making whole those who were unable to make that deadline. And, you know, I have to mention that the governor, she was talking about how she supported this measure and would like to see this happen. We can do it on Guam, the money spent here. And she mentions that some of the people who registered at Senator then Frank Uggin's office, those applicants never got to the federal government, she told me. And so this would be very helpful now to make whole those individuals who did file, but their documents didn't get to the federal government in time.
Senator, just to clarify, this doesn't change the eligibility, right, for applicants? Because I know that part of the... Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, the guidelines are already set in place. And I think Senator Frank Blas we had a conversation. I'll let him answer that because he was mentioning the importance of those who received a claim based on what happened to them, and it should follow. Go ahead, Senator Blas, please.
Well, yeah, it's right. There is already the process that exists. This is a matter, Chris, of then reopening the time for to submit the application and for it to be adjudicated.
Yeah.
And it's done at a local level with a local commission, utilizing the same funding source that was utilized for the previous or the ongoing claims process.
Yeah.
And the guidelines. I believe the guidelines on to determine the funding amount, because the one thing we don't want to see is that an individual received $12,000 and they were severely injured during the war, and then when the process comes to Guam, it's changed, and all of a sudden the person who did not receive any injuries received the same amount of injuries as the person who had injuries. So we don't want any indiscretions or any, not the indiscretions, but fairness here. We're just going to follow the same guidelines moving forward. But then, the public hearing is going to come, and And we're going to hear from the public, which is very important. I mean, that's the better part of this legislation, is listening to the public and what they want to see happen and move forward.
Yeah, man, Senator, I was looking at the timeline. So you guys' bill was introduced before the other. There's another measure, right, with Speaker Tina Munya Barnes. There was a release I got. Let me just go ahead and read this out real quick. Munya Barnes and Moylan create local war claims process for disenfranchised survivors. Delivering on her commitment to the hundreds of World War II survivors who, through no fault of their own, missed the federal deadline for the filing of war claims, Vice Speaker Tina Rose Munya Barnes and Minority Leader Jim Moylan today introduced Bill 130-36, which establishes the process for local payment of war claims. Was this a little bit of copycat going on here? But first question, dude, is Senator Chris Duenas still the minority leader, or did something else happen?
Yes, Senator Duenas is the minority leader for the Republican Party, for the Republican caucus.
Senator, are you sure? Are you sure about
I
that?
am very-
Because I'm looking at a
I am
release, right? I can show it. It says right there in black and white.
Yeah, I understand, and I saw it too. But that said, is Senator Duenas is still the minority leader. There has been no changes on that. Is this a copycat thing? And you know, Chris, you know, and Senator Tello, please allow me to do this. Okay, there was an ample opportunity given and time to be able to provide, sponsorship for the bill. Senator Tello was willing, to be able to officially recognize the sponsorship, to withdraw 129, to add the sponsorship on, and then to bring it back on, and then to reintroduce it with the members. So there was that opportunity, and I appreciate her gracefulness in being able to first off extend that, but then also to provide ample time to be able to review. And unfortunately, that offer wasn't taken, and it was decided to go on a different route. So that's it, Chris. Is at the end of the day, what we want to be able to provide is that opportunity for our war survivors. This is not a time, for who did this? I did this. Yeah. Who did that? This is for our war survivors. I even offered. I said, look, I'll be last on the sponsorship list. Doesn't matter to me. What matters to me most is that we provide a sound and an opportunity for our survivors who did not make the deadline initially, the first deadline, now to open it up to them at a local level, to provide them the same kind of opportunity I was provided with the federal program, and that's what it was. Okay, so who did what first, or who came second, and everything, for me, that's irrelevant. I think at the end of the day is the product that's produced.
I feel like it's a race now, Senator, Vice Speaker, Committee on Rules hold the keys.
Sure,
two identical measures.
And we recognize that, and that's the beauty of the democratic process. Okay.
Yeah.
This is far from being resolved. Again, but it is in my hope that at the end of the day, we do what's best for our survivors.
Yeah.
Our survivors don't care. Okay, what bill who introduced the bill or whatnot. What our survivors care for is that they're given that opportunity to be made whole.
Amen.
Okay, and so at the end of the day, is that going to make or break? Somebody's, for lack of a better term, and I'll bring up somebody's political career. It's not. Okay, it's what's doing what's right for the people of Guam. I think that's more important than thinking about a political career.
Right on. Senator Tello, I feel like, is this a Congress thing? What's up with the congressman? Because the war claims, getting this through, this was his, rah-rah, you know what I mean? He was like, we did it, and it kind of feels like this measure is really closing that whole process that was initiated in the Congress off on a local level, though. But was there just like no intent to move anything forward with Congress?
With regards to, I'm trying to understand the question. With regards to extending this opportunity for those who missed out. I mean, the way I see it, Chris, and I greatly appreciate Senator Frank Blas's comments. I concur with what he says with moving forward. Because seriously, after a while, I mean, you can't even remember who introduced what bill. I'm just glad that when I introduced the bill, that it sparked people to make a move. Because seriously, I thought that only a resolution was proffered by Senator Tina Barnes, and that was it. That was a point, asking Congress to extend it, and that was all. So I wanted to go a step further and move toward resolving this and finding a win-win situation for those who missed out, missed the deadline by the federal government. I think that needs to be reiterated. But as far as, that, I'm not sure exactly what else there is to say about congressmen or moving forward, because once they're done, they're done. Yeah. And the reason why I introduced this legislation is because I had heard that it should be done by the end of September of this year, adjudicated all the claims. And that being said, it's the opportunity now for us to prepare and start a legislation, create the commission, and move from there and create not the funding source. We already know where the funding source comes in. Create the account, put the funding in there. So now's the time to do it. So like you mentioned earlier, it's already, coming into May, time goes by really fast. So it's important that we move forward. And I'm glad that Bill 129 is getting traction by others who are saying, yes, we also need to move forward. But
so did you get a commitment from the governor to support this measure? Because I know that you're using the same funding source that the governor wants to use for this, right?
Right, absolutely. Well, when I did speak to the governor, like I mentioned yesterday, to let her know that I introduced the bill in the morning, and she was in full support of it. She says that we have control of Section 30 money. Well, the legislature actually has control. We're the ones that appropriate this funding. So it's not something that she can do alone. The legislature will have to do that on Section 30 funds. So she was supportive of the intent and everything. So will she support my bill over Tina's bill?
Ooh, I don't know. Well, Tina's a querida down there. I don't know. Ooh,
I don't have a D in front of me, but I have what's called a P, and that's the people of Guam. That was like Frank said, it at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. As long as we're fighting for the same cause and moving forward. And, we did, like Senator Blas mentioned, we did reach out to Senator Tina Barnes and offered her to be a co-sponsor that afternoon. And then a couple hours later, she introduces her own bill. So as far as I'm concerned, somebody else can introduce the same doggone bill, and that would more the merrier. At least now we have more people really interested in moving this bill forward. Yeah. So if a third bill comes out, that's even better. Now we know that there's senators who will support it, and we're going to need eight senators to support this, not two, not just two.
I think, Chris, also going back to your inquiry. I believe that our representative, first off, we appreciate the effort that he took to be able to fix the technicality, the flaw that existed in the bill that is now the law. That said, is that let's understand the realities first off of the Congress. I mean, it took that long to be able to move that measure forward, and then to go in and ask for an extension. First off, I thought that Section 30. The utilization of Section 30 as a funding source was just going to be it was as it was provided to us, it was going to be a placeholder. But then actually became the funding source. And right, this is something that can be handled, locally. So do we want to, and as Senator Tello had stated, the part of that Section 30 funds that were received to pay out the funds was also used for the administrative costs to administer and to implement the program. Why are we using our money to pay for a program to somebody else? That's something that we can do here.
Yeah.
And so that's what this bill proposes that it will do, is that be utilizing that same funding source, and the excess that should exist in that pot with the Federal War Claims, Foreign Settlement Commission, take our money back, and then utilize the same guidelines, the same process to adjudicate those claims for those individuals who did not meet the deadline.
Right on. Let's get into something else. Senator Tello, I saw that you're a co-sponsor of Senator Sabina's clean drinking water resolution. Was that making it awkward with some of your colleagues? Because I know, like, for example, Senator Blas Jr. had kind of come out came a little hard against it. I don't know. We spoke yesterday. I had no idea you were a co-sponsor. Sorry.
No worries. No worries. I mean, I signed on because, it was World Water Day, and the intent of this resolution for me had nothing to do with, not supporting the military buildup at all. There was nothing in this resolution that says that we don't support the military buildup. The way I interpreted this resolution, if you're going to use the firing range, if you're going to play G.I. Joe, on the property, then clean up your mess. Just clean up your mess. Pick up those bullets, I mean,
Ooh, boy, that's putting it pretty simple, Senator. Boys,
I think that's a soundbite.
Yeah, that's a.
Okay, but it's very simple. Just clean up what you're doing there, protect our aquifer, and that was really important to me. And I understand my colleagues' concern that this was all focused on the military, and but this is an opportunity to remind them of the importance of our land. I mean, we went through all the findings of Agent Orange, and other contaminants. The landfill, of the military dumping and not
mustard gas, right? Yeah, just the whole history.
There's a lot. So this is an opportunity to talk about it. Granted, our own local community needs to step up too, to protect our waterlands. Yeah. But this was all about, at the UN nation, United Nations, who, proffered this World Water Day. And, if you're going to talk about something at that level, then, the federal government is who we need to, knock on their door and say, hey, don't forget, please clean up your mess.
I want to ask Senator Blas, but I don't want to start an argument here. I mean, I actually do.
No, you're not going to start.
Okay.
Chris, I appreciate it. First off, you're not going to start an argument.
Okay.
I think that
too bad, because people like
Senator
that kind of stuff.
Senator Tello and I, we work in a realm where there's going to be disagreements, and we can agree to disagree, and we can move forward. Disagreements on one matter should not, and it doesn't affect me on working on others, such as this. Okay, a lot of times in I guess in the normal scheme of things, there's a tendency of being able to hold the grudges and you didn't support me on this measure, so I'm not going to support you in that. And no, if that were to occur, and unfortunately it does, it occur in politics, it does, but it doesn't occur in mine. I have on many occasions, went against, colleagues, whether they were Republicans or Democrats, on one measure. And then when that measure was tabled and we moved on to the next, I was their best friend. Okay. And we were best friends. We can fight like hell on the floor and then go up and then go to eat lunch, during a break, so that we can save on fuel and we can argue as to who's going to pay the bill. But that's just the nature of the beast. That's the nature of the beast. And so there are times that, even in this bill, again, I will tell you, in Bill 129, when the senator came to me about certain issues, we did have our discussion on the construct and on the nature, of what needed to be done. I remember, in one of the conversations, she goes, "Let's do this." I said, "Oh, no, we're not going to do that," and he says, "Okay, so what's the compromise on this thing?" And that's how politics works. So, we can agree with something on one matter, but then and disagree on another. But at the end of the day, it's what's right for the people.
It's so true. Thank you, Frank, for that, or Senator Blas, thank you for that. It's so true. And I'm so blessed now to have individual senators coming now in the legislature, in the 36th Guam legislature, who understand that it's not personal. It's their beliefs that they're putting forward. Yeah. And, one thing you learn in the legislature, you're not there to force it down an individual's throat. You're there to educate the individual, let them see the perspective of what if you went this way or what if you went that way, and you just provide all that research and data, and then allow them to make their decision and come up and be prepared to answer any questions they have. That's the way it rolls. And and I like the old school, senators who still believe in that.
I'm not that old.
I don't mean to. Sorry,
in fact, you're older than me. Okay, so.
Now we're gonna have an argument, guys.
Yeah, now we're gonna have this argument.
Yeah. Senator Blas, I wanted to also follow up on you because I know you've been writing a bunch of letters, and we kind of went over the timeline of this thing, but. Senator Blas Jr. had come out with he had tried to call the congressman. Not sure if he had the right number. It's a common problem that a lot of people have when they try and call the congressman. But anyway, you couldn't get hold of him. You wrote a letter, said, "Hey, what's up with this economic injury disaster loan? It looks like because we're using outdated census data from 2010 that there's just a bunch of businesses on Guam who aren't going to qualify." And the congressman held a press conference in which he kind of was like, Senator Blas is ignorant, blah, blah, blah. And regarding the businesses not being eligible, that's just the way the cookie, no pun intended, that's just the way the cookie crumbled. And so I saw that. Yeah, it was.
When you look at the language and the justification and the reasons to be able to put the requirements, for eligibility, and anybody who knows knows that it makes no sense. Chris, first off, you classify Hotel Row as low-income community, so therefore as low-income community, they're eligible. Yet at the same time, Batulo Road in Dedidum, is not qualified because for some odd reason it's a high-income area. And so you're not qualified, Barragata Heights, and no offense to anybody who stays there, they were designated as a low income area. Yet Babulao in Talahovo, there's nothing in there but Carabaos. That's a high income area. It really didn't make any sense. Yeah. So, that along with, some of the uniqueness of our economy here. We're over 6,000 miles away from the continental United States. Obviously, our economy is not driven by what happens between Butte, Montana, and Sarasota, Florida. Yeah, it happens between our here on Guam and Yokosuka, or the ports of Japan or South Korea and whatnot, where we're totally different economy. And to say that because it works and because that's the ruling and that's the matters that we put, for those places in the continental United States, it should work for Guam. No. And so, my process, my letter to the administrator was to please take a look at the other circumstances. Is there an opportunity for a waiver and exemption? I tell you what, if we don't ask, there is no opportunity because the issue was never brought up. Okay. We have to give that, that chance, that opportunity. Does it stop there? No, it doesn't. I think that also just as important is is if we let that go, if we let that be the standard, so that if there are other programs that, and this Democratic administration, apparently, it has it's growing its own money tree. But in case there's there's a third bite at this apple, does then that become the standard for eligibility requirement?
Yeah.
It may be if we don't bring it up. It may be if we don't say anything. And that's my whole.
I get
that's
it.
The other
Yeah.
purpose as well.
I mean, I get it, Senator. It's like we're a territory. We can't just cookie cutter ourselves to, Main Street USA. And I feel like that should be reflected in our representation at the congressional level.
Yes.
Like, I mean,
Yes,
for this
and
thing
it
to
should-
get through and there's nothing on the record, there's nothing with the congressman, or, I mean, even Khalili, I don't know, but there's nothing where they said, hey, yeah, this is not going to work for us. Can we get an amendment?
Yeah.
Can we do whatever? That we didn't see anything except, and you made him mad. And he went and called you ignorant in a press conference. But where are we now today? You wrote the administrator. Realistically, do you think this is something that needs to be done at a policy level? Or is this something that we can fix the way we fixed the PUA and the reduced hours thing? Where it was just a kind of...
okay, first off, at a policy level, the 36 Guam legislation doesn't have the express power to be able to change what is, from the U.S. Congress. Okay? I mean, that's
No, I mean at the
that's
congressional, like,
reality.
is there something that needs to be...
But you're right, and thank you for bringing that up. There was a situation not too long ago, with regards to another program where there was some confusion, or there was a ruling, or there was a requirement that basically made it very difficult for many individuals on our island to be able to get some relief. And there was a full court press, all-out effort to be able to resolve it, and it was. I'm asking for the businesses that are being that are being affected by this, and for future programs, that same effort be provided here. Okay, is it not being provided because it's being done by a Republican? I don't know, but this Republican, I'm fighting for those businesses who voted Democrat too. It doesn't matter to me. What matters is what's right for the people. And you know what? If you want to take credit for being able to lift the restrictions, to waive the requirements, then go ahead. It might, at the end of the day, it's what's right for the people, what's good for the people. You want to take credit? Go ahead. You don't have to invite me to the ribbon cutting. Okay, so you got me started, Chris. Go ahead.
I know. That's what I do. It's kind of what I do. Go ahead, Senator.
Love it. Passion. Love that passion, Frank Bloss.
All right.
But Chris, going back and just bringing this back to the thing, there's no secret. All right. I mean, I've stood, for and by, this whole process for our war survivors to get them first off, to get them honored, to give them the honor they rightfully deserve, and should have expect. And then to get them recognized. It really still bothers me that to this day that we have to use our own money, money that is ours, to be able to pay this. Yet at the same time, I don't know if you know, the last couple of weeks on the floor, of Congress, they're discussing, reparations to slavery. Guess where that money's coming from? Chris, that the money that we got for Section 30 was going into a fund that already had over $1 trillion. The Foreign War Claims Settlement Commission, in their pot, every year gets an allocation by the U.S. Congress to use to be able to settle settle claims, and they're in that pot. Okay, is over $1 trillion, and they wanted us to be able to pay for our own. That's another discussion. But at the end of the day, that Tutan Maria, who's waiting for her, for her compensation. That's not her problem. That will be our problem. But let's fix hers first. Then we'll go back and we'll go back and deal with that. I'm not done yet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, we're done here though, because I'm out of time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see. Sorry to pause on.
No, that's good, Senator Blas. But thank you again for the EIDL. I did want to follow up on that. Senator Taitigui, thank you for coming on.
Peace.
That's
Thank you. All right.
Okay. There you go.
That's that.
What? Just 9:15. Good morning. We got Sergeant Paul Tapao. We take a quick break, though, Jay. Really quick bathroom break, and we're back with more of The Link next. Good morning.
GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus, gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information.
Uno Go, delivering meals from your favorite restaurants and more, including delivering sodas and adult beverages from the Bottle Shack. Visit uno-go.com or download the app today. Also follow them on Instagram and Facebook. KUAM's multi-platform morning show, The Link, just got a little more delicious with Feed Me Fridays. Chris, Sabrina, Jason, and the rest of the morning crew will take some time each Friday to talk food, taste food, and bring you all the latest and greatest in food from King's Restaurants and Ruby Tuesday Guam, old faves, new hits, and everything on the menu in between. It's Feed Me Fridays on The Link.
Only one company on Guam provides every solar energy solution under one roof, Micronesia Renewable Energy. You want solar only? They got that. You want solar with batteries? They got that too. You want outright purchase or lease purchase? It's up to you. Does your solar system need a tune-up? That's what they do. For solar energy solutions from A to Z, you can count on MRE. Give them a call at 632-2613 for a free consultation. MRE, providing real solar solutions built by real solar experts.
When we throw things away, where is away? What happens to our waste, and where does it go? As a community of small islands, the waste crisis is a large issue we want to bring into focus. Micronesia Climate Change Alliance presents From Our Nanas for Our Nennies, a video series about taking a holistic view of our present, finding wisdom from our past, and inspiring a better future. Airing every week during Earth Month, brought to you by Humanities Guahan and the National Endowment for the Humanities.
Get the job done the right way by getting the right stuff at East West Rental Center. With years of experience helping builders, we definitely got what you need. Call 646-1463 or visit us in Upper Tumon. Open Monday to Saturday from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. and on Sundays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
The relationship between Guam and Manila, Philippines is undeniable as we share similar cultural traditions, history, and heritage, with generations of Filipinos calling Guam home. KUAM presents a monthly look at the capital city featuring in-depth and engaging interviews on everything from medical tourism to new business and government leaders. Veteran newscaster Nestor Lecanto delivers Beyond Our Borders. This special program is brought to you by the Bank of Guam and KFC.
This year, the Think Green Annual Cleanup goes virtual. Organize your community cleanup, post and tag with hashtag ThinkGreenGuam on social media. And we'll share your cleanup in our multimedia platforms and in a special montage on KUAM News Weekend Edition during the last weekend in April. Sustainability matters, part of the KUAM Care Force's commitment to our community. In partnership with the University of Guam Center for Island Sustainability and Guam Green Growth. Presented by Green Energy Solutions, Inc. Reduce before you produce. GESI. Special thanks to Micronesian Brokers, Inc.
It's Dirty Politics Weekly on The Link, live on location. Every week, Chris and Sabrina will interview different political leaders out in the field to address environmental problems in our community. See firsthand how illegal dumps, littering, and other issues are plaguing our beautiful island and what's being done to help. Part of our Sustainability Matters campaign for Earth Month, in partnership with the University of Guam Center for Island Sustainability and Guam Green Growth. Presented by Green Energy Solutions, Inc. Reduce before you produce. GESI.
Catch SportsLink on the KUAM News Morning Show, The Link, every Friday to hear about the latest in sports news, game schedules, athlete profiles, and more. SportsLink, brought to you each week by Cure Alkaline Water, airs every Friday across the multimedia platforms of KUAM. Tune into the broadcast on Breeze 93.9 FM, on KUAM TV 11, live streaming through the KUAM News Facebook page, or view highlights on YouTube, KUAM News Facebook, and Instagram. SportsLink is hosted by Dave Delgado through KUAM Sports, and he will make sure that everyone knows what is happening on the field, in the gyms, and everywhere in between.
Looking for TV schedules, upcoming sports, or special presentations, or what you may have missed over the busy week you had? Well, look no further than KOAM Digital Digest. This weekly emailed newsletter puts all kinds of information in the hands of subscribers each and every week. Just subscribe and we will make sure you keep up with your favorites and stay informed and entertained throughout it all. Go to KOAM.com, click on the newsletter tab, give us your email address, and you are all set. Brought to you in digital partnership with King's Restaurant and Ruby Tuesday Guam. It's the KOAM Digital Digest, your weekly guide to the latest information and best entertainment on the stations and platforms of KUAM.
As a reporter, I often ask people what compelled them to get the COVID-19 vaccine. For me, someone who's lived through coronavirus, I can't help but fear the idea of possibly infecting others, unknowingly passing it along to someone with a lesser immune system, someone's mother, father, grandparent, or someone who wouldn't be as blessed to suffer only minor symptoms. When I contracted COVID, that is what weighed most on my heart and mind, and that's why I did everything in my power to prevent this from happening, by following public health protocols. And now I am doing the same thing, being mindful my decisions, choices, and actions don't only affect me, but the entire nation. So I chose to get vaccinated, simply to protect others. My name is Adriana Cotero. I'm a KUAM News reporter and anchor, and a proud member of the Vaccination.
Join the vaccination. Scan and plan. For more information, go to KUAM.com.
Addis Trust and Investment, location, service, trust, is a proud partner of the KUAM Care Force.
We got your 6
at 6 a.m. with the link on Breeze 93.9 FM. Bree and I connect you with all the latest news and information you need to know to start your day.
Then check back with Guam's news leader at 6 p.m. for the day's top headlines with KUAM News Primetime.
From 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and everything else in between with KUAM Digital, we got your 6.
Pues dispensa isang mami.
Yes, for all of my Humanicans out there, Michelle Uggan. Good stuff. Hagu Mamis. Watch the diabetes. You're so sweet. Gonna put me in dialysis, girl. 924, Sergeant Paul Tapau. A serious note, though, Sergeant, there was a serious crash here that we found out earlier, about an hour ago on the show, and that has led to a road closure. Good morning.
Yes. Hey, Hafide, good morning. Chris, Jason, Joser. Thank you for that. Thank you for the beautiful sounds of the South. Sergeant Mike, your daughter has a beautiful voice, so
right,
that's his daughter, right?
Yes, it is. In fact, I was talking the other day. I ran into him when I went down to Umatic on Easter Sunday to respond to the former mayor, that whole tragic incident. I ran into him and we kind of talked because he would be, even his other kid, Daryl, also was making music, and that's kind of how I met Sergeant Mike. So we were able to catch up. I mean, it's just the strangest thing to meet up at that scene, but then still be able to say, hey, how you been? And anyway.
Yeah. So anyways, just to catch up to that, we are closing the roads. Our traffic investigators are on scene to a single auto off-roadway crash that occurred on West Santa Monica by North Chala and Henry Kaiser. So this is the road right after the Farmers Co-op. Our crash investigators are currently mapping out and, of course, gathering evidence. The lone occupant within that vehicle was transported, as reported by GFD, to Guam Regional Medical City, with CPR being performed while en route to the hospital. Again, we're asking motorists who are going to be traveling in that area to please seek alternative routes, because you're going to be stopped. You're not going to be permitted to pass through that area. As soon as we get the clearance and the lifting off the road closure and the completion of this portion of the investigation, we'll go ahead and inform the greater community of the opening of the roads and provide more information as a result in reference to the crash. But for now, the roads are closed. Please seek alternative routes, and we'll provide more to the great media the radio and of course to the media outlets out there.
Right, Sarge. So we got the bulletin that it was a single auto off roadway crash. I know it was serious injuries, but are you able to provide any other detail? Was it an auto pole collision or?
We're still in the preliminary state. We do know that the vehicle is at rest right by the dirt road access. I think there was contact to the guardrail. We don't know the condition as to what had caused the vehicle to lose control. We don't know whether speed, the weather, or inattentive driving. So we're going to find out more as the investigation moves forward.
Right. What else you got going on in the department?
Oh, so,
Yes, I'm sorry, Sarge, a little brain fart there. You guys met with the GIGO Neighborhood Watch program.
Yes.
Let's talk about
Yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah.
So a few weeks ago, we did have a sort of say the reintroductory back into the whole gamut of the Neighborhood Watch program. Due to COVID, the year 2020 really put a hiatus or put a stop into what we were doing with face-to-face and, of course, meeting with the greater communities with, of course, Neighborhood Watch programs. So at our command meeting that we held at the village of Sinahanya, the capital of Guam, by the way, kidding. I did meet with the mayor of GIGO, Mayor Tony Sanchez, who showed interest in formulating or revitalizing the Neighborhood Watch program within this proper, and of course to meet with the community members. We set a date for last night, and we were happy to report, thanks to the efforts of Mayor Tony Sanchez and the Vice Mayor Leones, we were able to get a great crowd that was gathered to hear about how we can actually formulate a vibrant Neighborhood Watch program. So we had representatives from the different proper of GIGO, and we knew going in, as we started this Neighborhood Watch program initiative, we knew that some of the villages, such as GIGO, such as Paragata, or such as Mingilao, are going to cause a challenge for forming a program just due to the size, the geographic features of GIGO. It stretches, so being able to touch this. So Mayor had brought up a great idea by inviting the municipal planning council members of the respective village of Jonia, I stand correct, GIGO, that were present, and they were able to voice concerns with different issues that pertaining to crime within their respective neighborhoods. So we were able to hear some of the concerns from the community members, the constituents that had issues with speeding, theft, different things that they wanted to report to the Guam Police Department, and giving them and arming them with the information of being a part of a Neighborhood Watch program and really providing a force multiplier approach to the greater community and improving the life pretty much of everybody that's going to be a part of this Neighborhood Watch program, because we're seeing the effects of a Neighborhood Watch program from when we started the initiative with the community, from simple gatherings under the mango tree to now, I want to say, flourishing to almost 5,000 members. So we're going to continue to work there. We're going to continue to work with the village, and we're going to be meeting with the Tumuning Neighborhood Watch program. We're going to be meeting with the Tumuning mayor next week. So if you are a resident of the Tumuning proper, Tumon, Tutuha, like they probably like to stay there in the respective proper. If you are from Tatuha, please feel free to join us. We're going to be at the Senior Citizen Center next week, Cinco de Mayo, May 5th, before you celebrate. Stop by, and give us a spill of what you want to know or what you would like to see with your respective Neighborhood Watch group, or how would you, or if you are just seeking information in how to start a four-corner Neighborhood Watch program within your respective cul-de-sac or your area. Well, we're going to be there to field and answer questions.
Sarge, is there a difference, let's say like a Neighborhood Watch program in a village like Sinahanya, where it's like house, and I mean, you look out in your backyard, you can see 5 other people's backyard. It seems like a little easier to kind of monitor versus a village like GIGO, where it's like spread out, right? And there's a lot of blind spots.
It is. So this is why we're taking it. We're working with the municipal planning members there, the MCP of the respective village, because we expressed it to Mayor Sanchez that because of the geographic size that GIGO has. So I met with different individuals from, let's say, Talalachans. I met with individuals from Gattinero, met with individuals who reside in Route 15, Route 3. So they were willing to spin up something in their respective sites. And what we're going to do is we're going to break it down into pocket meetings, sort of say, again, in line with COVID restrictions and of course the COVID mitigation process outdoor. We're going to have quarter meetings outdoor as we venture into these pocket areas. So, you know, if you have the luxury of having a full street, a full cul-de-sac, or having the, you know, the what we call pillar families that are still within your property, and there's maybe 4 or 5 homes, the advantage that you have, it's really how you develop your program, whether you want a full street coverage or you simply just want that 4-corner approach. The house in front of me, the house behind me, and the houses to the side. These are the people that I'm going to be bringing into my respective neighborhood watch program. I'll be part of a communication tree that will be providing information about crimes that are happening or crime trends that are occurring on island, and how I can actually help report information of crimes that are occurring. So the challenges are there in organizing. I think the hardest challenge is really organizing or getting started. But once we get started, we get the ball rolling, you see how it creates that snowball effect where people just gravitate towards that and they want to be a part of that, you know, something that's positive and something that's great for the community.
Sarge, man, I don't know if I got to ask you about this, but so we had Major Anton Uggan on, and there's this policy that the AG and DOC is doing where they're not confining nonviolent offenders. But anyway, the major had said that the director got a call from a couple officers who were, and I've heard from other officers too, that they're going out there, they're, you know, making the arrests or getting the collars on people who are doing things like the burglary, stealing cars. I mean, and I've seen some like big felony charges. So, I mean, I know it's just got to be frustrating for these cops to go out and make the arrests, and then for these criminals, or, you know, potential criminals, some of them are already criminals with histories, to be just flipped back out onto the street. So
yeah, so you know, we understand, you know, this issue has been voiced, the concerns have been voiced to respective channels, but we got to look at the efforts of the Department of Correction. Again, that is a place where you cannot social distance. There's no way you're going to allow the prisoners or the inmates to socially distance outside the confines of the Department of Correction. They have a challenge of really doing their efforts, doing their due diligence in mitigating the spread of COVID-19. We've assisted by really, when we have to make an arrest, there's an agreement that if we're going to make an arrest where a confinement is going to be made with the arrest is being effectuated, that we will be administering the COVID-19 test with the training that was provided by Department of Public Health and Social Service, and of course the Guam Memorial Hospital. So our officers are equipped to provide that should we be confining an individual who falls in that criteria. But understanding where the Department of Correction is coming from, we wholeheartedly understand it. We understand the frustration from the officers, but we work closely with the AG's office that the report that was generated that gave us the probable cause to net the arrest, that their case will be presented by the AG so that we can work in getting that conviction. So once DOC eases their restrictions or their policies with COVID, because that is the driving force, and I personally understand that, hey, there's no way that you're going to allow people to come out of the confines of DOC. So that's a gimme. So understanding their restriction, their tough restrictions, and bringing people in that, you know, are nonviolent or may not be dangerous to the community. We understand that there are concerns and frustrations from the community, but seeing the full picture of where DOC is coming from, Major Anton is man, when they had an outbreak, that was the scariest part for us in law enforcement, was really how are they going to, you know, where are we going to place them? Where are we going to place the inmates that are, you know, the detainees, the inmates that have to go to the adjudication process who are serving their adjudication process with their sentencing, where we're going to place them. We don't want to see that predicament. So understanding what DOC has, we are working with them. We reach out to the director, we've reached out, the chief has reached out in ensuring that when we need to confine somebody, that we follow the procedures. Like I mentioned, we do the testings for arrestees that need to be confined so that it helps with the mitigation and, of course, the contact tracing with the Department of Correction.
So it sounds like you guys are just dealing with it.
You know, they're going to get their day in court. So understanding that the reports will be generated, the optics in itself, you know, we're going to be working with the AG's office once the notice to appear or their time when they have to be arraigned. So it's going to be for all reports, all arrests that were made by the officers who are not, or individuals that weren't confined at the Department of Correction. All reports generated, completed, and closed were forwarded to the Office of the Attorney General. So working with them in getting that conviction or getting, moving forward with the judiciary process for the individual.
Sarge, you mentioned Cinco de Mayo checkpoints there. Have we been doing the checkpoints?
We've been doing a lot of speed enforcement. So again, working with we're going to be moving into that. So Memorial Day is coming up. Cinco de Mayo is celebrated. It's not a holiday, but I think Memorial Day falls in May. And what does that kick off pretty much is the summertime festivities that we're accustomed to celebrating, 4th of July, Liberation. But it's always been a trigger to see that something is going to happen once Memorial Day kicks in with the enforcement of DWI sobriety checkpoints, and of course, moving forward to really safeguard the roadways for those who choose to drive while impaired.
Right on.
Not to give too much out just yet.
Yeah. Guys, if you get Magasa, that's your own fault, basically.
But we do report. We are obligated to report when
of course
DWI checkpoints are going to be posted, so that there's no inconvenience for those who are going to be traversing on the road. I do give a listing. I think I cover all the main thoroughfares on the island. So it really is. We are going to do DUI checkpoints. We're just not going to tell you where and when we are going to be there. So the best bet: designate a responsible sober driver.
There you go. Thank you, Sarge. But you have to designate a responsible sober driver who is also a licensed driver.
Yes.
Because full disclosure, I was my auntie's designated driver back in the day. Oh, boy. I only had a permit.
But your auntie was an adult, right?
She was an adult. Yeah, she was licensed.
Yeah.
Well, you're lucky. I think the statute of limitations
passed
for you.
I just want to say, I don't want to.
It's been more than 7 years, right?
Be at risk of anything. It's been a little more than 7 years.
And that's the thing, you know. I want to stress that I'm going to be releasing some case closures that the Highway Patrol provided. So I'm currently working on that. But you know, just to
which ones, Sarge?
I'm sorry.
Like which ones? I'm curious.
From last year.
Okay.
So these are the cases, and so we are up to date. We are still working with I think we're at 5 or 6 fatal crashes.
Yeah.
So far, I know we're in that range, and we're only in the month of April.
Yeah.
So there was this, you know, we're seeing a somewhat of an uptick in fatal crashes, and some of the crashes that we've seen are really, it's cars that's splitting in half, and you know, it's indicative to people can relate that to the fact that speed may be a factor in that, and of course impaired driving. But you know, we want to be able to bring down our fatality rates, and one of the best things in which we can actually do that is designating a responsible sober driver. And you know, Cinco de Mayo is pretty much, you know, a lot of the advertisement is really about consumption of alcohol. So you know, we want to give them the opportunity to celebrate the event, but also just to take care of the community and designate a responsible sober driver.
Sarge, was there any update on that? Remember, you guys were looking for that Sablon kid in connection with that Route 8 fatal crash?
Yes, we were able to meet with him. That case is still ongoing.
Okay.
It's still ongoing. We were able to meet with him. So he did have a warrant that was issued on behalf. He had an outstanding warrant, but that case in itself, the case jacket is still open, still ongoing. So I'll be reaching out and following up for any closures in that case.
Sarge, last question. Michael Castro, is there any update with that case?
it's still classed as a missing person. We are, we still maintain communication with the family members. We still have our detectives, with the previous homicide cases that, we have been dealing with the, the homicide investigation in Umatic. And of course, the recent one in the Swamp Road area. Our detectives, they're preparing because of the fact that reports and case reports have to be submitted to the AG's office. So that is still classed as a missing person.
Okay.
I do know once we finalize all those cases with the previous homicide cases, we will go back and continue the missing persons investigation.
Right on. Well, thank you, Sarge, for your time this morning. And again, the
Absolutely.
road
Thank you for the
closure,
opportunity, man.
of course. Is that going to be for a few hours, Sarge, you expect?
I'm looking to see if there's any report, but I don't see any lifting of the roads. So I'll provide information that's available to me.
Thank you, Sarge.
Absolutely. Stay
That's
safe.
that.
God bless.
Right on. Got it. Okay. Good morning. We're going to take a quick break here, guys, and we're going to show you your lunch for the day. Courtesy Guam Community College Culinary Academy. That's coming up next right here on The Link. Good morning.
Uno Go, delivering meals from your favorite restaurants and more, including delivering sodas and adult beverages from the Bottle Shack. Visit uno-go.com or download the app today. Also follow them on Instagram and Facebook. KUAM's multi-platform morning show, The Link, just got a little more delicious with Feed Me Fridays. Chris, Sabrina, Jason, and the rest of the morning crew will take some time each Friday to talk food, taste food, and bring you all the latest and greatest in food from King's Restaurants and Ruby Tuesday Guam, old faves, new hits, and everything on the menu in between. It's Feed Me Fridays on The Link.
GU Self-Storage, conveniently located near the Harmon McDonald's. We offer affordable rates, online payments, and auto bill pay for your convenience. Plus gate access daily from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Call us today at 648-7867 for more information.
Only one company on Guam provides every solar energy solution under one roof. Micronesia Renewable Energy. You want solar only? They got that. You want solar with batteries? They got that too. You want outright purchase or lease purchase? It's up to you. Does your solar system need a tune-up? That's what they do. For solar energy solutions from A to Z, you can count on MRE. Give them a call at 632-2613 for a free consultation. MRE, providing real solar solutions built by real solar experts.
Get the job done the right way by getting the right stuff at East West Rental Center. With years of experience helping builders, we definitely got what you need. Call 646-1463 or visit us in Upper Tumon. Open Monday to Saturday from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. and on Sundays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
The relationship between Guam and Manila, Philippines is undeniable as we share similar cultural traditions, history, and heritage, with generations of Filipinos calling Guam home. KUAM presents a monthly look at the capital city featuring in-depth and engaging interviews on everything from medical tourism to new business and government leaders. Veteran newscaster Nestor Lecanto delivers Beyond Our Borders. This special program is brought to you by the Bank of Guam and KFC.
Looking for TV schedules, upcoming sports, or special presentations, or what you may have missed over the busy week you had? Well, look no further than KUAM Digital Digest. This weekly emailed newsletter puts all kinds of information in the hands of subscribers each and every week. Just subscribe and we will make sure you keep up with your favorites and stay informed and entertained throughout it all. Go to KUAM.com, click on the newsletter tab, give us your email address, and you are all set. Brought to you in digital partnership with King's Restaurant and Ruby Tuesday Guam. It's the KUAM Digital Digest, your weekly guide to the latest information and best entertainment on the stations and platforms of KUAM.
The world of television is more exciting than ever. Don't miss a minute of special presentations from NBC on KUAM TV 8 or from CBS on KUAM TV 11. Every month, we'll bring you the fun and excitement of award shows and red carpet moments, special series presentations, and other great network programs. Brought to you locally by King's Restaurant, Ruby Tuesday Guam, Bud Light Seltzer, and Docomo Pacific, giving you more reasons to tune in and turn on. Fall in love with TV again with the best from KUAM Communications.
It's a long winter night. I sit by the fire all alone. I'm alone, and I watch the snow fall down on you. While you're here, looking to find some Christmas cheer. It's not near, it's not near. It's been gone since you left last year. I'm trying hard to find the urge to let you in. I see your face and all I do is melt again. I don't wanna be your winter season lover, the girl that's back at home. Unlike any other, but you leave and I see that your heart is cold.
Hey, good morning. Hey, the show's brought to you by Jack in the Box. It's a returning favorite, Jack's Triple Bonus. Yes, that's one of Jason Solis's favorite. It's everything you need to indulge. You can add a patty, make it a quad. That's 4 patties of meat in your mouth for only $1 more.
I don't even know 4 patties. People, I know.
You have to put it in sideways, Jay.
Well, you have an
so-
anti-patty, right? I have an anti-patty.
Yeah.
I know peppermint patty.
Yeah.
From Charlie Brown.
Burger
I know-
patty,
Yeah. I know Patty Lazama. I used to work with her at Sprint.
rice patty.
No, rice patty. There.
Yep. So there's 4 patties. Thank you, Jack in the Box.
Well, we were just talking to Sergeant Tapal, the patty wagon.
There you go. 948 GCC in the house.
Are they ever?
Yeah, thank you guys, man. GCC, remember they're doing their lunch and dinner buffet today? It's to go. Normally, pre-COVID, you would go in there and it was like a literal buffet. Now it's takeout plates. So they just delivered the lunch for today. Remember, it's $10. It's a great deal. You go to the GCC Multi-Purpose Center on the kitchen side. As we get the reveal, this is the hummus they made.
And look at this, Chris.
Wow.
The chefs, I mean, they even took the time to write us like a little message on the hummus. They go,
Yeah.
They write, "Hey guys, we appreciate you for welcoming us to your station. We hope you guys enjoy this hummus and especially the food from your morning and evening GCC team."
Right on.
And Miss Shirley actually brought this down, as she has every single week.
Yep.
I keep asking her, "You want to come on the radio, do like something like that?" And she's like, "No."
No.
She's got other deliveries to make, but I told her we give her a shout out. She's so sweet.
Very nice lady.
Thank you,
okay,
Shirley.
sir. So what's the Jay? I didn't get the flyer. Do you know what's the menu?
Okay, that's the hummus, definitely.
Obviously,
they were
that's the
telling us.
hummus, yeah.
And I believe, okay, this is that's the garlic naan. I mean, you know, there are a lot of ways to consume naan. I really like it when you do the garlic. So we're gonna put that garlic in the hummus. And as for the main course, there's some curry.
There's some curry, I'll say.
Yeah, that's putting it lightly. There's some more hummus. There's
Some more curry. Can I see, sir? Man, I can smell it.
This is the hell that is your life. You're on the other side of the studio.
What are those, like, vegetables? Are those vegetables?
What's it? So close, but yet so far away.
Oh, wow.
Now get a whiff of that, bro.
Yes, man. This is the lunch. They're doing a whole dinner, too. That's also $10, guys. GCC Culinary Academy. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, and remember, if you've gone to GCC before, they said they've had a little bit of a switch because of some events going on there.
Right.
They used to be at the multi-purpose auditorium at GCC in Mangilao. You want to head to the kitchen. If you don't know where that is, just look for what's certainly going to be like a long line of cars. And just, you know what? Roll down your window and just stick your nose out and get ready to smell some amazing curry. Joe Sir's got...
He's getting creative.
He's got the curry in me.
Yeah. I got the curry in me. Yeah, thank you. So they gave us the hummus there. It's very glossy looking hummus.
There is so much the smell of curry, man.
Yeah. It's a great smell. I love it. I
got-
love Indian food.
We've got more curry than the Golden State Warriors in this room.
Oh, ba-dum-boom. All right, that was your big GCC Culinary Academy reveal.
Okay, if you're one of the few people on Guam who has never tried Indian food, today is the perfect opportunity to indoctrinate yourself.
That's right, and you're not. It's safe. I know they're a hot spot right now, but the food right here is very cool. Guys, let's do Burger King, shall we? Cover me. It's brought to you by Burger King. Whopper Wednesdays. Well, you missed it. We gave you a heads up, though. You can do that every Wednesday. You go in, you get a Whopper. You say, I love, love, love the Whopper. They're going to give you another one for free because you're awesome like that, and you listen to the link. It's also brought to you by Docomo Pacific, where you can say hello to 2021 with the most reliable network in the Marianas. To visit a Docomo Pacific retail location, we welcome you to walk in. Book your visit ahead by downloading the Skip Lino app on your Apple or Android phone. Again, cover me this morning. It is Blue Waves. Good morning.
right the next time you will know what to do. So we are gonna catch it, shoot it tonight. Long time waiting, I catch it, shoot it tonight. Your mama don't like no catch it, shoot it tonight. Long time waiting, I catch it, shoot it tonight. Hey, 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 go on over, any moment is I'm a good. 'Cause everybody wants to be like you. Everybody wants to be like you.
This reminds me so much of that, like ciphers when they just play a beat and everyone just jumps on and does their thing. It's kind of like this but with the keyboard. Hey, good morning. It's 9:59, Thursday, April 29th. Man, I really appreciate you guys jamming with us here on the link. Miss a link, miss a lot. To our viewers on KUAM TV, thank you guys so much, and we'll be back at you tomorrow. Friday, woohoo, Business! Yep, Biba Business tomorrow. KUAM TV for Joe Sir, Jason Salas, and our Link fam, and the Off-Island Sabrina Salas Mantanani. Thank you guys so much. My name's Chris.
I'm Jason.
Hasta adios. Hey, your go-to jam's always on the way.